Hello, people. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Mm.
Hello, people. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Okay, I can hear me, so I know you can hear me.
I don't know. What are you doing?
I know you can hear me because I just heard me talking to myself. Hello, everybody.
Chat. I need to change the chat. How do I change the chat?
Put it on top chat.
My chat?
Yeah, live
All
chat,
messages.
all messages. Just in case Stray Bullet comes in here.
Let me change it
Turn
here.
your volume
Okay.
down too.
And check from the top.
Why are the
What?
comments so condensed?
That's just how it looks when you're looking at this view.
We're not on vertical here, are we?
We are.
Oh, okay.
There's
Okay, we're on vertical today. So go ahead.
so Steven Andrews was here.
Stephen Andrews is here.
On both the channels.
Yes. Times two. Yeah.
Mark Sauvé.
Mark Sauvé is here. I see him right there.
Ford Rules Borlaug is here.
Yes.
City
Ford.
Borlaug.
He says he'll be back in a little bit. Maybe.
Mm, Mike N.
Mike N. Hello. See him right there. I can see him on the screen.
Dean Stevenson.
Dean Stevenson. Hello.
Patrick.
Patrick Sullivan.
Let me see. Let me see. Mm.
I don't know how you can see that screen so dull. I
Mark
don't know.
Sauvé. Buddy Carfano.
Buddy, thanks for coming.
Thunderbird.
Hello, Thunderbird.
Okay.
And we
Mark
have,
says he has reticular position.
okay, good.
Dan Eboyd is here.
Dan E. Boyd.
Also Josh Holman.
Hello, Josh.
Barracuda.
Barry, thanks for coming. And we see Boomer here. Thanks for joining us.
Um, Patrick says it's a wider resolution than normal. Is that a bad thing? I don't know.
I don't know. It's on the vertical, so hopefully YouTube will put it out there and maybe we'll get a few new people in here.
Barracuda says my brother had a cat exactly like that. I thought it looked like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. Got a little point at the nose.
Mike says interesting looking interior.
Yeah, those little cars. They always had casino carpets, just like the one that's on the screen now. They always had casino carpets style. Fine.
Brian Skinner is here.
Hello, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
They say how's it going?
It is going.
Believe in yourself is here.
Hey, Believe. So these are, in case you guys don't know, these are Mexican cars. Some of them are only sold in Mexico, not the US. Yes, Dan. But that's what people need here. That is what people need here.
Stop reading my messages.
You have to read them.
I'm waiting for you to stop speaking. You're saying something.
Well, you're letting them go, so hurry up.
Thunderbird says so no fire tonight. Hey, actually, we had a fire on a frozen lake yesterday while ice fishing. Believe it or not.
But the fire goes up, not down, right? So it didn't melt the ice.
Marcelo says casino carpet low.
I lived in Vegas for 10 years. Believe me, I know casino carpet.
Dan says little tour boxes.
Yes.
Mike says so true, Mike.
Uh-huh.
Fernando says how's it going down in Jalisco tonight?
I don't know. We're not there. Supposedly, from the people I talked to, it's all calmed down. It was like 48 hours that the problem was, and it's pretty much gone now.
Yeah. Mike says it was a gamble owning some of them.
You had little turd boxes?
Ford Rules says your voice is not what I expected.
What did you expect? Higher or lower? Or more of a lisp?
Mike says, "Oh yeah, these two are definitely married."
Yeah,
He's being mean.
I am not.
Yes, you're being mean, and it's my day today.
Your day for what?
It's my day.
For what?
It's International Women's Day.
Not in our house.
It is too.
No way.
I'm gonna hit you. Um,
Like women need their own day.
Mira. Patrick says, Mike, 100%. Yeah. Barracuda says, how long have you been a Brian Skinner? And Ford says, Spanish accent.
Why would I have a Spanish accent? I grew up in Southern California. People say here that I have an American accent in Spanish. Oh,
Dan says, Dia de las Mujeres? Yeah, International Women's Day.
mm-hmm. You left out internacional, Dan. It has to be internacional.
I got me a lemonade.
So what's in the other one?
Water?
Then why do you need both?
If I put a lemonade on this one, I have to wash it afterwards.
I didn't answer the question.
Anyway, Thunderbird says, when is National Retard? That's rude.
He can say it because he is one.
Okay. I'm not, so I'm not saying it. Dan says, you have a very slight touch of Chicano in your accent, I think.
I do. I have whatever they speak in Southern California.
Berkeley says, he sounds like Marco Rubio. Who's Marco Rubio?
He works for the Trump administration.
Oh. Ford Rule says, you speak any Spanish?
Claro que sí. Tengo que. No hablan inglés aquí, en mi pueblo.
En mi rancho.
El rancho está allá.
Dan says, Paco Moreno in Bad Boys with Champagne. Dan says, Rubio's a senator, I thought.
Well, he's not anymore. He's working in the administration. I don't know. I don't know. I don't keep up with their titles. I know Hegseth is Secretary of War. Just because he changed it. The only reason I remember. Oh.
I don't think I gave a like on the stream. Let me give it a like. I don't think I can anymore. Never mind then. Oh yeah, I liked it. Okay. I'm just trying to find out how I'm never on vertical on YouTube, only on TikTok. So I'm trying to find out how it works.
Make sure you're still on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Every time you get out of the thing,
yeah.
it changes. Mike says I sound like Hess from the Valley. Who's Hess? I sound like Hess from the Valley.
He's from the Valley.
I sound like he's from the Valley.
I am from the Valley, but I never picked up that garbage. It was all around me because I was in high school when that movie came out, and oh my god, I could not deal with those girls that had to copy the movie, not only the way they talked, the way they dressed, the way they did everything. There weren't too many leaders in my school. Most of them were followers.
Dances Kingspress, whatever that is. Then it says, I sound like I'm from the Ohio River, probably.
Yeah, but does that area have a specific accent?
Ford Rule says, Craig Bell fixed one of those from an auction. It was trash. Had wood screws in body.
You're talking about the 57 Fairlane? This is the car that Buff was talking about yesterday. That it has the high fin, but it has a different trim on it, and it's this and it's that. And he told me so many things about the car that I'm going to have to ask the owner about because I need to know what it says on the original invoice. Does it say Fairlane 500?
Why is Ford Rules yelling at me?
He always does it in caps. So you just have to.
Okay, do I have to say it in the accent?
Yes.
Gag me with a spoon. Totally. I don't like it. Dan says Ohio River is hillbillish accent.
Okay. So redneck.
Ford Rules says Valley Girls.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm from that valley.
Barracuda says colors, 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 colors. Dan says, I like this sport.
There's quite a few dark green cars in here because last week there was a dark green Beetle and that color just kind of stuck with me. So there's a Thunderbird or a Cougar in here, and there's a whole bunch of other dark green cars. Dark green looks so good on cars. Nailed it.
Nailed it. I don't know if I like that or not. The number thought it was a beautiful car. For Rule says that's very nice. Joshua says looks to be a US spec Fairlane.
Josh, go to Instagram or to my Facebook page. Look at the pictures that I posted of that car and compare them to the US spec, and you will see the difference in the trim. And the trim that's on the door is taller. There's more of it on this car than there is the US cars. And you're going to see that the chrome that comes from the back along the fin curves farther towards the front of the car at a more of an angle, giving you the higher amount that they had to fill in with that silver stuff. And the stuff on the side in the US was gold, not silver. So there are some differences.
Tabo's here.
Hey Tabo, buenas noches.
Dice buenas noches, gente y demás seres. And then says, I see the Cougar and Volkswagen. I've seen.
Yeah, there's a few more in here that are dark green.
Mike says El Halcón.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I say in Spanish.
Yep.
For Rule says, did you ever see a Falcon? What's a Falcon?
Is that like when you're seeing double after you drink a lot?
Dan says Optitor.
What's an Optitor?
I have no idea. Barracuda says, you know Sean Penn, Robert Duvall?
No, we don't know Sean Penn, and you know what happened here because of him. We lived through a whole bunch of crap here because of him. And no, I've never met Robert Duvall.
Steven Andrews says, Love Verde Oscuro.
Mm-hmm.
Mike N says, I do like the wheels on that Falcon. Thunderbird says, I imagine it could be more challenging finding body parts for Mexican cars, but I imagine drivetrain stuff is pretty standard.
Not really, Thunderbird, because like we've talked about before, that the Mexican 302, they didn't lower the compression or do any of that the US cars did. So you would want to rebuild the Mexican engine and not just replace it with an American engine in a Mustang or a Fairmont or something like that. So
Dean says, I'm doing a little window shopping.
Oh, that's good.
Ford Rule says, not a Ford, a Falcon brand.
No, I've never heard of it. Is it a car, an airplane, what?
Tao says, what kind of windows are you looking for, Dean?
I'm going to guess, what's that called with all the colors? Stained glass. Stained glass.
That's nice. Dan says, what crap did champagne cost in Mexico?
You don't remember, Dan? When he met with El Chapo, and then he was the reason that they found El Chapo? And through that, what was the woman's name?
I don't remember. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, threw her under the bus, and now everybody's looking for her and stuff. Yeah, then everything that happened after that, because they destabilized the whole region, taking him away, we had to live through all that stuff here.
Barracuda says, in the movie Colors. Thunderbird says, high compression is good to me.
Yes.
Dean says, ones that don't have a tint. Dan says,
there's a lot of cars with clear windows here, but I don't think you'd ever want one.
Dan says, okay, now I remember.
Yeah. He thinks he's the savior, and El Chapo was stupid enough to fall for it. What a moron. Both of them.
Silver Star is here.
Hello, Silver Star.
Silver Star says, I fell in love with the 351 Ford LTD or Galaxy 351 3 on the 3.
There's a few of them here. Definitely. The Mexican 351 was a pretty stout engine. 351 Windsor that were in the full-size cars here.
Ford says Falcon in the door jamb made by Falcon.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Daniel Morris is here.
Hello, Daniel. Thanks for joining us.
Dean says stained glass Judas Priest.
Stained glass.
Glass.
I can see that with everything's blurry, but I can see there's no thing on it.
Daniel Morris says hello, Cruz, Michael Cruz. Fuck him. Mike N says, wow, I didn't realize there was a connection between El Chapo and Sean Penn.
Oh yeah, if you look it up, Mike, he
Wasn't there a thing on Netflix? Whatever it's called.
they're probably they've done quite a bit of stuff on it, but yeah, it was the thing was put out that Sean Penn wanted to meet him, and he was all starstruck. Chapo was all starstruck, and they set up a meeting, and it all went downhill from there because the Mexican military was able to track El Chapo from there, and they found him a block away from my son's school, and created that whole thing. Ugh, what a mess.
Uno's here.
Hello, Uno.
Sorry. They say Chichi cheer for the Oilers. Second permission, so I can hang for 15. What's my one?
Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like P Diddy stuff?
No, I think
It's a sports ball team.
Sports ball. I'm gonna go with hockey. Larry Morris says you're welcome. Mike N says help and for leather. Dino. Thunderbird says, are you able to live off of your import company? How long have you done it?
My import company? You mean exporting cars from here? Yes and no, because it seems that I only sell a car when I absolutely have to. I haven't been able to sell a couple of cars at the same time, but I'm hoping that changes very soon because we're going to be putting out the video of the 99 Ram Charger that we sent over to Florida because the truck is in Florida and it's ready to be picked up. It was cleared by the EPA. Everything's ready to go, and the client's going to be heading over there tomorrow or the next day.
I love that wagon.
So that's going to be done for that deal. The truck is imported into the U.S.
Now that we have a different way to import vehicles for the customers on the East Coast, and we are looking for a different way to import it on the West Coast and Canada. We are hoping that will increase our business.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I need to find some kind of employee that can work with me that speaks English because Mrs. Spec has her job here and she can only take a few days off a month. And the more cars we sell, the more I'm going to need to be out moving them around and stuff. So, and I need somebody that speaks English well so we can do the lives in the vehicles when we're road tripping and stuff. To have you guys be involved in what we're doing.
Yeah. Mark says, what's on it? Oh no, sorry. Mike says, oh wow, never knew. Mark says, nice two-tone coloring on the bug. 4P Rules says, you're back. The number says, Edmonton Oilers hockey team, my local team. Oh,
okay.
Barracuda says, I don't like Sean Penn. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Firefly is here.
Hey, Firefly.
And they're clinging to the TV screen.
I've got my zapper, Firefly.
No, leave him alone. Cop Car Steve is here.
Hello, Cop Car Steve.
Dice bienvenido, mi amigo. ¿Qué pasó?
Nada más. No mucho.
Darren Morris says, nice wagon. I know, I love that wagon.
Yeah.
It's like, I wasn't paying attention last stream, but it's really nice.
And it's a Mexican car. You can see the speedometer right there.
Dan says, Wayne Gretzky played his first professional game about 2 miles from where I lived. I had no idea. Dean Simpson says, time has slashed each untouched thing, so now he's just stained glass king. Also, you're singing the song? I don't know sorry, you said the name of the band, it just slipped my head. I don't know him of the band very much. Bellfly says, so that's where my grandpa's wagon went.
Your grandpa had a Mexican wagon?
Living Yourself says, we had a 74 one of these wagons with the fake wood on the sides.
So that was a country squire then.
White with fake wood on the sides.
Yeah.
Mark says, the Thunderbird, no matter what team I root for in any sport, if I watch a game, guaranteed they lose. Well, then you should stop watching games.
You have a lot of power then. Mark. Little more than I have.
Barracuda says, I prefer Chris Penn. I don't know who Chris Penn is.
His brother, but he's dead.
Ford Rule says, don't say that's a big block. 429.
There was only one engine available in those cars here, and it's a 351 Windsor. But no smog. Remember, no smog.
Dan says, the color keyed wheel covers are asking for wood grain on the sides of the wagon.
I have a 74 Country Squire that I'm going to be publishing. It's gold, a beautiful gold with the wood grain on the side. It looks really nice.
Thunderbird says, well, maybe when I'm ready to jump fully into cars, I can help you import cars into Canada right after I buy my carry-on.
Who said that?
Thunderbird.
Oh, okay. You're on the other side though, aren't you?
I
You're right.
don't
Are
know.
you on the? You're on the east side, right? Or you're right in the middle?
Believe says to Mark, let us know which team you're going to root for in the future.
So they can bet against them.
Yeah. Firefly retreats to the ceiling. See? You scare him. You're so
Our
rude.
ceilings are low. I can get you anyway.
No! Stop it. Patrick says Thunderbird sucks to be a Cub fan, huh? Dean says I prefer Penn State. Is that a university?
Yeah.
Mark says to believe. Right, would be good to bet against me. Burglar says pen reels. Then Stevenson says no laughing. You lose grab reflex again, Firefly. Um, Danimore says Mexicans cars are so nice. Dan says my Monaco is peak pimp. Popcar says, do you buy these vehicles or do you just kind of middleman? The vehicles owners get a piece of a piece. You
Who
get
is
a
that?
piece. Copcar Steve.
No, I do not buy it. I don't have 1,800 cars sitting in front of my house, Steve. I when I get a customer interested, then I offer them some options, 3 or 4 or 5 different vehicles. They choose the one they want, and then that's the one I'll go after.
And the
Because
owner of the car doesn't get a piece.
no, and because they're spread out all over the country.
Yeah, no, we don't make deals with the owners of the cars.
No.
Ballplay says, hey, Dean, and the hot snakes comments just killed me at OTG.
Mm.
Fort Rule says kilometers, but what engine 351?
351 Windsor. It's a 351 Windsor in the car.
Steven Andrews says Dodge Grande. Regular says Arthur Penn.
Don't know who that is. Maybe another brother.
Barry Morris says Monaco is sweet. Thunderbird says I'm working towards my dream of restoring vehicles. If things work out, I've actually considered jumping in fit first, but I can't do that with a young family to support. I understand what you mean.
No, that is very difficult. Where I have a guy that's in Vancouver that wants a bunch of cars up there. About he says. So Mrs. Spec is working on getting transport up to Vancouver by ship,
Mm-hmm.
a vessel. So that's what we're working on now. Whether the guy's actually serious or not, I don't know. But if she can get it set up, then we can get the cars up there to Canada without having to cross the United States, because nobody really wants to do that.
George Foreman says just root for the team you don't like. They'll lose every time. Mark Soe says Mexican Spec. I went on an NHL hockey game. My team was getting cramped. I went to the bathroom and they scored.
Can you use your power for good, Mark?
Stray
Have you
Bullet
have you
says,
tried?
Stray Bullet is here and they say, can anyone see me? I can see you, I
Hello,
promise.
Stray Bullet. Yes, we can see you.
Daniel Morris says, what does the Monaco go for?
That they want a lot of money for that car, way more than anybody would ever want to pay. So that I didn't put it on my list to publish it. It's just way too much money.
Fort Rule says, I'm in mid California. That's an issue. I'd say that's an issue.
Well, no. Pretty soon, smog tests are going to be gone.
Oh.
Even in California, they don't have a chance because if they don't get rid of them, the federal government's going to come in and take over the whole system. So it's possible that we're going to be able to send cars into California then. It is possible.
Okay, here's another question for you. Sorry. Silver Star says, are there issues with driving a Mexican Spec across the border and then sell it rather than importing?
Yes, because you can't get license plates or a title over there. You have to import it, and then it's best to get a title in your name, and then you can sell it.
Yeah, it's better to do it the right way the first time.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have, for example, the 99 through 2001 Ram Chargers in California, in Arizona, in Texas. But if you buy it, give them money, you can't really do anything with it because you can't drive on the Mexican plates and you can't get a title because you don't have the customs documents. You might as well pay the extra $1,000 or whatever it is and make it legal so nobody can take the vehicle from you if you're going to invest the money in it.
Mm-hmm. Joshua says that black car is pretty. Mark Sobes says, turns out you be bug supper. Turns on books about it. Mark, calm down. Butterfly says, be right back. Wife is ranting about her job. Okay, go listen to her. Make her a coffee. Thunderbird says, I'm right next to British Columbia, so I'd actually be pretty close to the West Coast
Oh,
docks.
okay, okay. Well, why don't you sell some of the cars up there and then we'll be able to ship them up there. If you want to handle your client, we do need the payment up front to deliver the car, but
Mm-hmm.
I have lots of happy customers that'll be glad to, you know,
Speak on my behalf.
yeah, to tell you what their experience was.
Yeah.
But we can get the cars up there. Shipping is not that expensive, but as we found out with this Ram Charger, the Mexican customs agent re- costs more than actually shipping the vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, a third more. So, but there's a lot of documents that need to be done. There's a lot of, with Mexican customs, there's so much that needs to be done to export a car from here that way. Just at the border here, if we take it up to Nogales, the buyer has to come in. They drive it to where the trucks cross, the commercial crossing, and with the ownership documents we give and the customs documents from the customs agent, you drive right across. They stamp the customs documents. That is your ticket to get a U.S. title there.
Yeah. Steven Andrews says, still looking for an 80 to 81 Chrysler Town and Country wagon, woody wagon.
There's one here. There's a couple of them here.
Dan says, Mex is an ad relay. Pericula says, Spence Oil. You got stuck in the bid. Dan says, Pencil Tucky.
Pennsylvania.
Thunderbird says, for whoever mentioned the Oilers, I'm so sorry you have to watch them tonight. Lol. Dan says, got the AC compressor mounted on the valley too, a sign of luxury engineering at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Thunderbird says, I'm about 9 hours from Vancouver. Joe says, hi. Mark says to Mexican Spec, I don't think I can control my power, lol. I think I'm
You
way
have to
behind on the
practice.
chat.
I know you're an older man, Mark, but you have to practice.
I think I'm way behind on the chat.
It takes practice. Yes, you are because
4 rules is Canada does kilometers. Patrick says, I don't see stray. Patrick, put your chat on all.
on top chat. I mean, on live chat.
Patrick says, now I do. Strawberry says, hi Patrick. Patrick says, Daddy Boy says, importing. It gets you a certificate of origin. It sounds like one, even if it's called something else.
No, it's the Mexican ownership documents are the original invoice to the car from when it was sold new. On the back, the owner signs off when he sells it. The new owner puts his name in there. Then he goes and gets license plates with that. And then when he sells it, he signs it off, and the new owner puts his name in. So you see the whole history on the back, and then you get the customs documents showing that all of the money was paid and it's exempt from EPA standards because it's over 25 years old, and you can go get your title. Those are the documents you need.
Sorry. Fort Rule says, I see Baja plates all the time. Oh my god, it irks me. I can't pronounce that word very
Well,
well.
there's a lot of visitors that go there and then they bring the cars back. They're not importing them or anything. There's a lot of tourism that people go in and go back out.
Thunderbird says, not to let the cat out of the bag, but here in Alberta, all we need is a bill of sale in order to register a car. So as long as the car makes it here, I can sell it without any papers.
I don't think so. Not a Mexican car. Nope. You're
Um,
talking about a vehicle that is in the system already in Canada. This vehicle is going to be coming into the port, and you're not going to be able to take it out of the port unless you have the correct documents to import it legally into Canada. It's the same thing. It's not, the port is not Canadian territory. Just like the port in Jacksonville, Florida, is not U.S. territory.
Billfly throws a paperclip at your bug zapper. Barracuda says Arthur Penn was an American movie director and producer. Also, he was married to Marilyn Monroe.
Huh?
Arthur Penn. Was it?
No,
I don't know.
that
Sorry.
his last name was not Penn. It was
I don't know.
Arthur Murray.
Mark Sobe says that great. Um, Cocker says in order to get a U.S. title, does the vehicle have to be inspected commercially for a pass and then be awarded a title?
It there's 50 states in the U.S., Steve. Each state has its rules, but like in order for my client to get the title on his Ram Charger, he had to get the documents translated into English, which is fine. It cost him, I don't know, 60, 50 or $60 or whatever. With that and the documents that he gets at the customs, the US customs agent, he turns that in and they will give him his plates and title. I'm sure he's gonna have to do an in-person VIN inspection from the police or whatever, but that's about it. That's all that's necessary in most states. California is an outlier.
Butterfly says that 78 Mustang 2 looks weird with the angel eyes LED ring turned on.
The what?
LED. The angel eyes LED
Oh
light
yeah,
rings turned on.
those are the first things we remove on these cars.
Stray Bullet says that Mustang will be perfect for a Coyote swap.
Is there room in there for that? Coyotes are really wide engines.
Popcar Steve says in Canada, if a car is to be registered from one province to the next province, it has to be commercially inspected and passed, and then it can be driven and registered in that province.
Right. So that's probably just looking at the numbers, right? Comparing the numbers to the documents, I would assume.
KJ Kylie is here.
Hello, KJ Kylie. Thanks for joining us.
Steven Andrews says, I'm 3.5 hours from Vancouver, BC.
Hmm.
Four Rule says, even California will honor the 25-year rule.
No, they won't. Because you cannot pass smog. You can't pass a smog test with any of these vehicles. And I don't know if you know the law in California, Ford, but 75 and newer doesn't have to smog if it's already a California vehicle. If you're bringing it in from another jurisdiction, whether it be international or another state, it has to be 1966 or older in order for it not to require a smog. So I can sell the older cars to California. That's not an issue. But the newer ones from 60, 67 to 75, they all need to be smogged and the cars will not pass.
Steven Andrews says, Vancouver, Washington, WA. It's only 1 hour 30.
Oh, okay.
Thunderbird says, so who controls the port then?
The It's international. The feds do.
Buff del Campos here.
Hello, Buff.
They say hello.
Are you okay? You're not tired?
Chevrolet says the Port Authority.
Yep.
Dan says Coast Guard, but the port for some reason is like international waters, I think, something like that.
Yeah, it's not Canada territory and it's not, I mean, it's not the province and it's not the state. It's federal.
Es una aduana.
Yeah.
Es una aduana. Entonces
It's
tiene,
custom.
sí.
They don't understand Spanish.
Sorry.
It's customs, right? It's customs,
Probably.
and I'm sure you've seen it in movies that they will not allow a product to cross into the United States unless the documentation is correct. And that's what we make sure we do, is make sure the documentation is correct, because we have a U.S. customs agent in Jacksonville, Florida. She handles her and the buyer work together, and he pays her little fees, and she prepares the documents so he can register the car over there.
Mark says the cop car steep. Yep. Here in Quebec, if you buy out of province, you need to go to a government-approved place for safety. They are contracted for a 5-year period.
Oh, safety. Okay.
Patrick says, hey, Bob. Sorry. The number says, well, knowing the government in Canada, nobody gives a crap about importing unless you are a law-abiding citizen, then they give you help.
Oh, yes, they do, because you have to pay all the taxes. They want their money.
Strobel says a Coyote will fit into a Fox body Mustang. Dean would probably know for sure.
I don't know if he's had any experience with the Coyote engine.
The number says, yeah, all provinces required out of province inspections. However, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and I believe Manitoba have a special agreement that makes things easier.
But not with Mexico.
Mark says in Quebec, if a vehicle is imported from another country, no matter what year, it has to be equipped with daytime running lights. That's weird.
Strap a flashlight to the hood.
Ford rule says that's what the Jay Leno law was supposed to fix.
It was supposed to, yes, but not as far as importing vehicles. Not as far as importing vehicles. That was only for cars inside the state already. There are special rules for importing cars. That's why you don't see Japanese imports running around very much in California or any of those because you can't get license plates there.
Thunderbird says, well, when a Chinese naval destroyer lands on the Canadian port at that point, it certainly is under Canadian jurisdiction. I'm confused.
When a Chinese naval destroyer lands on the Canadian port, yes, it's federal. It's federal property. You can't get into the province until you all of your documents are paid, in order, and all of your taxes are paid. They won't let the vehicle enter.
Sorry. Treboli says Dean knows. Yeah, where's Dean? Alonso Mosley is here.
Hello, Alonso.
Do we know Alonso? Do I know Alonso?
New people are going to be coming in.
Sorry. Ford should have sold those here in the States.
Alonso, from what I understand, Chevrolet had a patent on that type of vehicle, which was why Chevrolet was the only one that had a Suburban for sale in the U.S. Dodge didn't have one, and Ford didn't have one. These vehicles, these carryalls, were handmade by conversion companies here. They weren't made by Ford. You got the half cab and chassis from Ford, and then a conversion company made what you see here to order. They wanted a two-door, they wanted a three-door, they wanted passenger, they wanted a panel truck. It was all done by hand, so it wasn't feasible to be making that, and I don't think they were allowed to sell anything like that in the U.S. at the time.
And Barracuda says, sorry, Marilyn Monroe was married to Arthur Miller.
Yeah,
Arthur
Miller.
Penn was the director / producer, though. Arthur Murray was a dance teacher.
Okay, Arthur Miller. Yeah, I had one of the Arthurs in there.
Butterfly says, I think I will brine the pork chops tomorrow with the usual brown sugar and salt brine. Today I relax.
We were buying pork chops for a little bit, but they're so hard on my teeth. I don't know how to make them softer.
Yeah, I'm not great at like cooking anything other than chicken and beef. So, Butterfly says, no. Mark says again in Quebec, Nissan Skylines are now banned for import.
Are you talking about the new ones or the old ones that everybody wants? I thought they were allowed in.
Thunderbird says, right, yes, I understand. It's a federal thing. I thought you were saying no one controls the port. Oh.
No, the feds do. And you're going to give them their money before you get your car, no matter what.
Stray Bullet says, I don't know why they didn't build those trucks with the Centurion when the Centurion was built. Sorry.
Well, the Centurion was a private company, so they were able to build it because it wasn't Ford, and they started in 1987. Centurion started in 1987.
Alonso says, hello, I know you from Cold War Motors.
Oh, hello, Alonso.
Tavo says, in New Zealand, we need an.
No, in Z.
In Z, where's Z? Australia?
Well, he only knows Australia.
I don't know. He said, whatever. Anyway, in Australia, we need an import approval paper. Then it goes for an asbestos check at buyer's cost, and then when released, depending on the state, a full safety and ID inspection. Then you could register. Yeah, we did heard about that.
Yeah, I was working with a guy in Australia, and I was gonna have to take the brakes off the car, the underhood thing off the car. I was gonna have to strip the car before I sent it. The car was gonna have no brakes at all.
Yeah, but I think the guy had an accident.
I don't know what happened to him.
Something happened to the person, and we ended up not doing it. But we were tentatively looking into importing into Australia. In Oz. Oh, him in Oz. Okay, sorry. Trevoli says the Wagoneer was a similar vehicle to the Suburban. KJ Kylie says, when I got my Pennsylvania emissions license in 1984, it was all carbs regulations and nonsense. 40 years later, look at the monster they become.
Well, they're not a monster anymore because they're broke, and they're disbanding it. Carb is almost gone. Almost.
Mark says the old ones must be older than 15 years, but it's because usually the Skylines are important to street race.
Right.
Fernando says, got a pork loin in the freezer. Need to put that in the Traeger? I don't know what Traeger is, sorry. Strawberry says, so was the international travel all.
They might have been in a different category though. I don't know. I don't know how they did it. You better, you have to think that if Ford was able to build a vehicle like that, they would have, seeing how many Suburbans were sold. They're not going to let Chevy take all of that if they had any legal way to sell something like that. Dodge was the same thing, being the four door. Dodge had the Ram Charger, and Ford had the Bronco, of course, so they were selling those, but nobody had the four door.
Sorry. Firefly says, Brian keeps the pork chops from burning and overcooking. Stays tender from the increased water content. Oh, maybe I should give it a try.
I don't think pork chops are ever tender.
Maybe I should give it a try. Overbuilt Automotive is here.
Hello, Overbuilt.
They say to KJ Kylie, Jeff all started with that Brit Crew King Charlie's and that out of it. What? Jeff all started with that Brit Crew King Charlie's and that outfit. Sorry, outfit. Thunderbird says the topic of different color turn signals came up in a recent live of yours. I've been noticing that here a lot of imported cars only have clear or amber rear signals. Must not be mandated here in Alberta.
There was no rules about any of that in Mexico. Whatever it came with, it came with. You're lucky to have turn signals.
Mark asked Tavo, is there still a cubic inch limit in Australia?
Are you asking about cars, Mark?
What?
I certainly hope so.
Biofly says, for extra caramelizing, I hit the chops with a propane torch. Then I cook it normally. I need a new stove. My stove has like really low flame because it's really old and it's like all like gunky inside.
I think the lines are clogged and stuff.
Yeah, so. That was his marks. So, I didn't know we had one. Dan says, yeah, but now most of California is also gone. Dan says, yeah, but now. Dan says, does the torch sear the meat? Mark says, Otavo, I heard way back that a 383 cubic inch was the most displacement allowed. Maybe that got erased over time. Steven Andrew says, Tiger is a wood pellet smoker barbecue. Oh, okay. Joshua says, it will if you keep it long enough, the torch. Cocker Steve says, I know it was only a short time, but I was glad I was able to support Buenas noches. Oh, thank you for being here, Cocker Steve.
Oh, good night, Cop Car Steve. Thanks for being here.
Butterfly says, yep, Boyd, and caramelizes the brown sugar. I'm gonna try that.
I need more sugar in my diet.
Butterfly says, seals in the juices. Danny Morrison says, Mr. and Mrs. Spec, are you guys sick again, or is it allergies?
I'm fine.
I have a little bit of allergies, that's why I'm sniffling, and my stomach is upset, but I'm feeling actually a lot better than I was feeling yesterday. I don't know if you noticed yesterday I was pretty quiet, but I'm feeling pretty well today. Mark says, yes, I'm asking about cars law. Joshua says, that car looks too plush to wear the name Dart.
Josh, they put the name Dart on everything here so they could sell it. It was a marketing thing. But yeah, there was luxury darts. I mean, this brown one has the V8. It's basically a four-door Dodge Diplomat. If you want to look at it, it could be a cop car because it has all the best parts on it.
Bergola says, in New Zealand, a car can come here with asbestos linings and be legal on the road with them. And when they're worn out, you won't be able to get asbestos again. So I've heard.
There's a shop here that will reline your brakes. So I might be able to get the brakes, like the brake shoes, relined with something other than asbestos for any car going to Australia. They've done it for me, and it's really cheap. So it might be worth doing that.
Our bill says to Barracuda, China sends asbestos brakes all the time. I'll bet it's China. Triple says asbestos, the good old days. Fort Rule says, FYI, Wisconsin and Tennessee don't have smog tests.
Tennessee doesn't have anything. That's why I was talking to Buff about maybe doing titling these Mexican cars there, but there's a lot of logistics involved. So I think I may talk to the guy that I sold a Beetle to there. He's a Tennessee dealer, and maybe the cars can be transported to him, and he sells the car to the client, and he makes his part and collects the tax and whatever, and supplies them with a Tennessee title. I'm going to talk to him about that.
Barrelfly says, I had to cook meat for tenderness. The method I use for determining when the meat is done is the firmness test, poking it.
Poke poke.
Barrelfly says, one learns by doing.
Yeah.
Tabo says, Aussie turn signals from 1959. Front can be white or amber. The 1973 on only amber, white park lights. Rear could be amber or red until 66. If originally red, now only amber. Sylvander says, is there any asbestos brakes still around?
Probably in Mexico, because they don't change things here. They just keep selling what they have.
Poor Rule says, I get ceramic pads.
Doesn't that tear up the rotors?
Barracuda says, remember in the 80s everything had turbo written on it?
Yes, I do, Barracuda. All the little cars.
Overbill
The
says,
Turbo Sprint.
Overbill says, yeah, I live in Kingston, Tennessee native.
Yeah, you don't have to have a VIN inspection. They don't ask for anything. You just bring the paperwork in there. They give you a title and a license plate, and you drive it.
We have some more. This is Boomer 6129.
Yep, I know Boomer.
Okay, and they say, what is a BAM rally?
That in the U.S. would be an AMC Spirit. It's the car that took over for the Gremlin after they stopped making the Gremlin in the U.S. But VAM is what they called the company here in Mexico. They couldn't very well call it AMC, so they call it Vehículos Automotores Mexicanos. Mexicanas. So it's basically American Motors Corporation in Spanish, VAM, but most people just called them Ramblers all the way until 1983 when they stopped making them.
Fernando says, have you tried to partner with an American dealer?
That's what I was just talking about. But when the car gets shipped over to Jacksonville, Florida, because this dealer imports cars from Japan all the time, so he has the system set up, the transport that picks them up from Jacksonville and delivers them to him in Tennessee. So he's already got the system set up going from Jacksonville over there. So he just talked to me about a Volkswagen Beetle that a friend of his is looking for. He wants a Mexican Beetle for his Beetle collection. And he says, if you can export it to Jacksonville, I'll take it from there. So I'm thinking maybe we can talk and we can do that with any vehicle that we send over there. He can have it transported to his property and he can do the paperwork and the car can be picked up from him when the title is ready to go. The Tennessee title is ready to go. Because I was worried about doing that with Buff because I don't know how many cars a year you're allowed to sell in Tennessee without having to have a dealer's license. Because that could get him in financial trouble.
Mark says, I remember a Hemi K car. Lol.
Yep, the first year they said it was a Mitsubishi engine.
Biofly says, to be honest, I am a lazy cook. All my sauces are store bought. Well, I mean,
Where do you see that?
It's late a Biofly.
I don't see that.
That's because it's a bit back. I'm behind the chat. Corville says, less noise and less wear on rotors. The ceramic.
I thought it was more noise with the ceramic.
I don't know. Boomer gives you a thumbs up. Strebule says, now everything has a turbocharger and you would never know by looking at the vehicle.
And they didn't work anyway.
KJ says, I had an 81 Hemi Reliant station wagon. Low. Fernando says, we had a Hemi Chrysler minivan, a Mitsubishi 2.6 Hemi, but it still had a Hemi.
Yep.
Tabo says, and when you see me type AMI, that's our version of BAM, Australian Motor Industries, assembled many different makes from kits with some local parts.
We all have our AMC company.
Yeah. Thunderbird says, just looked it up, and apparently there's a federal inspection required for imports, but vehicles older than 15 years are generally exempt.
Right. That's why The US is 25 years and Canada is 15. So, Volkswagen Beetles, all those cars will pass with no problem. And of course, I would not send them to you until they're in good condition, because we can do the brakes here cheap. We can do new tires. We can do anything you want. Make sure everything's done before it's even sent over there. That it'll pass with flying colors. Because I have my buddy here that has a tire shop. He does the suspension work. He does tires. We do brake. He does the brakes. I have a mechanic that'll do all of the electrical stuff. We'll make sure it's real good and it doesn't cost very much, and make sure it passes with no trouble. We'll even make sure it starts up when it gets there.
Trouble says it's probably fairly easy. Oh, sorry. Trouble says it's probably fairly easy to get a dealer's license in Tennessee.
It probably is, but I'm not sure Buff would want to go through all of that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money involved, because you have to have bonds on your license and you have to have a sign out front and all that. There's rules for all that stuff. I'm sure even in Tennessee.
Pavla says the Iki 2.6 liter carburetor choke actuator sucked. Actually sucked? Actuator sucked?
Actuator, yeah, it sucked.
Heated thermostat pellet on carb.
Vilefly, I am sure a lot of those cars were junked only because of the carburetor. They start running rich, you can't get them smogged, you can't get your license plates renewed, so they probably just junked the cars. I'll guarantee you that was the major part of it, because the rest of the car was easily fixed.
Overbuilt says used to be 2 or 4 cars. 2, I think, only I forget. But I can ask. Oh, sorry, sir. But I can ask my best buddy. He has a junkyard slash dealership tow yard in town.
Yeah, usually it's up to 5 for a private person in most states.
I heard Cosmo brand tire were kind of popular in Mexico. I got a set of Mudcats on my Land Cruiser.
I buy whatever my buddy gets. They're usually Chinese tires, but they're not expensive, so they're still fine for driving around.
Particular says, Tavo, have you seen to see through clear front indicator lenses available now for BH or BK Valiants? Chrysler never offered them like that, did they? Mine are white-ish opaque. Firefly says the car and the noisy 2.6-liter chain clatter.
Yeah, they were not a quiet engine.
KJ says the 2.6 had a thermoplastic choke element. Are you guys making me say weird words?
This was all smog crap that Mexico didn't have. So the K cars in Mexico are the 2.2 or later on the 2.5, but without any of that crap, it was just a regular carburetor on there. You take it off, you put another one on, and you go.
Barfly says I had fixed both for quite a while. Thunderbird says just curious what the status is on shipping directly from Mexico to Canada. Is there anything on the works?
That's what I said. Mrs. Spec is working with a shipping company and trying to get the route from Mazatlan, which is only 4 hours from here, to Vancouver. And then we could start doing that. But we need to get the shipping company online. We need to get a representative that we can deal with, and we need to get a customs agent in Mazatlan that can handle the paperwork, like we have in Veracruz. The lady we have in Veracruz, she's sorry, I better say it the same, in Veracruz. She's good at what she does. She did everything she promised. I paid her. She handled everything. She was very competent. We drove the truck over to the port when we were there, handed it off to the driver. He drove it out on the street, took it directly into the port. No complaints anywhere.
Yeah. Tabo says in us it's 4 cars per year. Even if I had my own cars for 10 years and wanted to sell 5 of them, either sell them over the course of more than a year or require a dealer's license.
Are you sure about that, Tavo? Because I've read the rules, because it always applied to me in a lot of different states. And there's a stipulation in there that if you bought the car to resell, then you could do it for up to 5. But like if you're selling off your collection, if you're a car collector and you send 10 of them to auction, the law does not apply.
Steven Andrews says Tom at Rocker Restorations. He has a dealer's license.
Right.
Barracuda says,
He had to get it because he can't. He had a lot of cars were going through there, so he was required to get that.
and Barracuda says, I saw sunglasses with turbo written on them. Okay.
I don't think that the turbo on that helps you see any better.
Our bill says Tavo. Our bill says to Tavo. People here sell stuff open title cash a lot. Tavo says to Barracuda, yes, they're all over the place here. They look silly on BJVK. I don't know what that is.
I'm talking to Barracuda.
Butterfly says objects in mirror are losing. Bastrable says they were even. Oh, hold on. I move. Tribble says they were even putting turbochargers on motorcycles in the 80s.
Great, so you can have that hot turbocharger between your legs.
Barracuda says, and they sure aren't cheap, especially here. Will the Drill is here,
Hello, Will.
and they say that's a nice van.
It is a nice Jeep. Yes.
Tavo says,
Ram Jeep.
I have amber ones for BH. Mona says, let's go Oilers, 3-1. Over Vegas, only 5 minutes left. Tavo says, in South Oz, yes, they could go to auction, but limit of 4 has as a direct sale to the public.
I think if you read it line for line, you're going to see that there's an exemption for a collector selling his stuff, because it has to say in there something like how if it was bought to resell. Now, Uno, is it really? You're talking about hockey, right? Is that what that is? Hockey?
I don't know.
Is it really a win if you're playing against a hockey team that lives in the desert? I don't think so.
Will the Drill says, nice Grand Wagoneer.
Oh, okay.
Tribble says, that Wagoneer would be perfect for a Hellcat swap.
You might want to get one that had a V8 originally. So maybe it'll be a stronger chassis, because the 6 cylinders here, I don't know. I don't know. That's going from like one end of the spectrum to the other.
Ono says, hey Max, did you see the new free trade US Camex?
USC AMX.
USCMA AMX. It has a car agreement that changes your business.
No, I didn't see that, but my client that bought the Ram Charger didn't pay any tariff. It was only like $400 for the fees at the port and for the customs agent. So he didn't get charged any tariff. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Let me write that down.
That was says different rules state by state. George Roman says nice BAM CJ7 as well.
Yeah, that would be a. He's asking. How much was it? It would come out to like 200,000 pesos. USC AMX. I'm typing it down.
Pergola says Tavo, have you ever seen reproduction BH sedan taillight lenses? I don't think anyone has done them. Probably never will. Glad I got spares years ago. Biofly says, I need to teach Flybaby to need chain mail. She needs a few more skills to learn. Una says, just because the team is in the desert doesn't mean the players are 90% of the. No, doesn't mean the players are. 90% of the league is Canadian.
Oh well, but they do practice in the desert. Yes, I understand. I lived there for 10 years. There were ice skating rinks at some of the casinos, but it's not the same thing as going out on a lake.
Boomer says most of these vehicles won't pass Utah emission test. Has to have a catalytic converter and pass tailpipe test.
Even one that's over 25 years old, Boomer, what's the cutoff for the smog there?
That was his Barracuda. No for BH. Still a few NOS ones getting around. VJ and Charger Repros have hit the market recently.
I had a client, Boomer, from Utah, and I was getting him a Dodge Ram Charger, a 99 it was a 99 at the time, and I asked him very clear, straight out, Will, are you gonna have a problem with it? with smog, he says, no, no, I'm not gonna have any problem. I don't have to smog it.
Margola says my BH is early 71, so it came with opaque. Trable says it's like a brothel inside.
Yeah, it's very red. That's the best thing about it.
Bilateral says I imagine if BAM had access to the AMC V8s, the 304 would have had a 4-barrel intake and had over 200 horsepower. The 360 would have had around 280 horsepower, and the 401 would have had 330 horsepower.
Wouldn't that have been nice?
Boomer says yes.
But we didn't have any V8s here.
Steven Andrews says Kraken playing the Oilers again, March 31st. Got 9 goals on us last time. Hope it's closer this time.
Boomer, what's the cutoff for the smog test? How old does the car have to be before it's exempt? You're in Salt Lake City, in the metropolitan area. Firefly says, "Ooh, a red van, a perfect resale color for impulse buyers. No, not only a red van, red guts. It's even better. I think the seats need to be rebuilt though because the backs look a little crooked. But I know a guy."
Will the Thrill says, as you can tell, I have quite an imagination.
Yeah, it's a good imagination.
Thunderbird says, Biofly, we had a town in Alberta called Mirror, Alberta, and the sign says objects in mirror are closer than they appear. City Council has a sense of humor. Boomer says, yes, in Salt Lake.
Yeah, what I remember about that, Boomer, is we bought a few ex-police cars up there. It was a what was it, a 19 I think it was a 1990 Chevy Caprice, and it was odd that even the police departments every year have to smog and safety their cars and get a registration sticker for their license plates, or they're not allowed to drive it on the street, which means that the cars are well cared for and they pass the test every year. And the car was in really good condition. I ended up taking it to Las Vegas and selling it to an ex Salt Lake City police officer who loved the car. He loved that car.
Uno says if the vehicle has had continuous registration and been licensed, it can be driven across the borders and sold in the other country, but the sale has to be registered and taxed at the DMV.
From Canada to the U.S., you mean? The U.S. is what sets the rules on that.
Will Drill says here in New York, the car has to be 25 years old in order to permissions tests are not required.
Well, that's the only thing I can sell to somebody in New York is somebody that has a car that's 25 years old or older. So that works out for me.
Mark says no smog test in Quebec. In Ontario, only heavy trucks have to pass smog test now as well.
That's good to know.
Thunderbird says no smog test here in Alberta. In fact, you don't even have to keep your catalytic converters in place.
They don't have any kind of safety inspection?
Boomer says Salt Lake County and some others have county emissions.
But there's usually a cutoff on the year. They don't smog everything. There's usually a cutoff, say this year and older, they don't have to smog it anymore.
Pergola says I knew a guy that had a VH Valiant, a station wagon, and it had extra indicators on the front balance below the bumper panel.
Or were they park lamps? Not sure. They were probably added afterwards by somebody. Probably not a factory item.
Una says, I think it's 8 to 10 years depending on if it's personal use, collector, or business. So like for Uber or trucks or business. Boomer says, I'll have to double check.
Because there has to be a cutoff. I think this guy was in St. George though, which probably didn't have to do a smog test. But I couldn't find a truck for him, so I refunded his money. I don't care what anybody says about me. I couldn't find the vehicle, so I refunded his money. And he can tell you all about it if I can find his number.
Wildfire says, oh crap, I just realized I have to set my clock forward tonight. I was robbed.
It was last night. Wasn't it?
Wasn't it last night?
It was last night.
Somebody confirm.
Yeah.
Andrew says Washington has no annual inspections, no emissions tests for at least 15 years, I think.
So it's easy to get one up there. See, I got a customer in, where is he? Seattle, and he wants a Volkswagen Caribe sent up there. So I'm trying to get my transport company, see if he'd be able to come into Mexico, the driver, cross the car, then put it on the truck and deliver it to the guy in Seattle. But he hasn't gotten back to me on that. So it's really hard relying on other people to get your business taken care of.
Uno says Oilers win 4-2. Oh, good. Marcus says a friend of mine calls them Cadillac converters. Cadillac converters.
That means they're the best.
That was also very good. If that wagon was early 73 built, it would have been built with amber indicators and the CH balance with park lights down there. Thunderbird says some insurance companies require safety inspections upon purchase. Also, imported cars require a safety inspection, but aside from that, you never had to get inspected.
I've never heard of an insurance company requesting a safety inspection. I mean, you guys have a different kind of insurance up there, though.
Josh Homan says it was last night.
Yep.
Firefly says fly brain.
He missed a whole day. Firefly missed a whole day.
Will Drill says Florida has no annual inspections. I remember being down there and seeing some cars falling apart.
From what I heard, people call Florida the Wild West, even though it's east. They don't. You can get. There's no rules. You can do anything there.
Ford says Peter Nvidia in Africa was made a standalone ECU to revive really old cars.
Really old computer controlled cars, though, which is what we don't deal with.
So it says forward. I set mine back. Isn't it spring forward?
Spring forward, fall back, which is odd because we had to set our clocks back an hour today. I don't know why.
Because it's spring forward by itself. Thunderbird says, I almost forgot about time change, but then it dawned on me.
Cute.
Don't steal Belief's job, Thunderbird. Barracuda says, as I recall, there were clear lenses. Tribble says, isn't it spring back?
No. Spring ahead.
Cars, Carts, and Travel is here.
How many coronets do you want, Kevin? I know where 3 of them are right now. I don't think you'd want to pay the price for them though. And they got slant 6s under the hood.
They say, where's all the 73 Dodge Coronets at?
Right. I wonder why. Was it a 73? Yeah, it was a 73.
Barracuda says the ones below the bumper. Thunderbird says, yeah, insurance companies just want to cover their butts.
I don't see what they have to do with it, but they're just covering the car.
Will Literal says, now that is a very nice Mustang notchback.
Yes, it is. They're both really nice.
Uno says, new US CAMX lets you start the bill of sale, attach the registration since purchase, and you can ship it to Canada. And when it gets here, the driver finishes the sale in Canada and then can unload.
I'd have to read up on the rules. I typed it down, so I'm gonna look that up.
Firefly has just off his clocks. Sirando says 8 p.m. becomes 9 p.m.
Yep. Although when I woke up this morning, I don't know. I had to change the clock back again.
If you are wondering what time it is, just ask Alexa or Siri.
I don't have Alexa. I typed it in. That's what my fingers are for on the keyboard.
Alexa.
I typed
Siri,
it in. What time is it here? And it told me it was 4 something. So I put it to
what? 4.
Yeah, it was. If I thought it was 5 something and it was 4 something. So I changed the clock, changed all this time. Because right now, my phone is saying it's 9:21 here.
9:23 here.
Yeah.
Car says
I'm always a couple minutes off in my universe.
Kevin says low.
Yep.
Ford says Australia regulates window tint. Insurance can deny you based on inspection. Davos is Barracuda. In Oz, amber indicators were mandatory in 1173, so they put amber lenses on the big corner ones and added the clear park lights down below.
Okay.
In New Zealand, you might have had clear indicators. Question mark. Barracuda says he was a singwriter, an ideal vehicle for that work.
Sign writer.
Signwriter. What is signwriter? Stop. Um, Una says, what year was the cool car you were talking about?
92 or 93 maybe. The dark green one.
Butterfly says, too much running around for me today. Got distracted. Thunderbird says, yeah, it's just in their interest to make sure the car is safe. Brakes, lights, etc. Ford says, that ECU, he adds to non-computer cars from the 50s.
I wouldn't want a computer on my car.
Thunderbird says, would you guys be going live during World War III?
If we can, yeah. We won't be involved.
Butterfly says, 11:25 p.m. here in Kansas City.
So you're 2 hours ahead.
Fernando says 9:21 here too. Thunderbird says 10:24 here.
So you're in Central Time, Thunderbird.
Uno says, I think it's 28:29 or 29:30 when that kicks in, but it depends on the Chinese cars in Mexico and the battery plant's construction in Canada. Fernando says, okay, 9:24.
I'm always a couple minutes off. I don't know why.
KJ says, how is Tamaulipas nowadays? I think he says Tamaulipas.
Um,
He says Tamaulipas.
how am I gonna? How did the guy that sold us the Ram Charger say about it?
Uh,
You know how better to say the name of the thing. Like, like that.
that's not, is it? It's just not good. I can't. How do I?
Yeah, it's not a place you want to go. Los Zetas are still in control of it. They were trained by the U.S. military. That's how they control the area. I will not go there under any circumstances. Everybody in the area knows you do not go there. And I talked to the guy in Monterey, who's the next state over, and they're like, nope, you do not go there under any circumstances.
Uno says, where was the cowboy style Mustang from?
What cowboy style Mustang?
Mm-hmm. Trouble says, it's like Mexican is living in another dimension, a couple of minutes behind everyone.
Yeah, that's my universe. I'll stick with it.
Uno says it's 10:25 here.
I have 924. 24, 23, whatever.
26. Barracuda says, you've established for me those below the bumper are park lights, and on his wagon those were clear, naturally. And I think his indicators were amber. Overbuild makes a face. Buddy Garfano says 12:26 in Boston.
Okay, so there's only 3 time zones right now in the U.S. Pacific, Central, and Eastern.
Overbuild says stick shift, my favorite box. Firefly says when people say you don't go there, well, you don't go there.
No, definitely not.
Thunderbird
When
says
when the locals say don't go there, believe them.
yeah. Thunderbird says I wonder if Scott from CWM wants a Mexican car. Maybe we can go to Vancouver together.
Thunderbird, his buddy Dan wants a Mexican Dodge Magnum. I had one for him, but he never. I sent the pictures and everything to Scott, and either he doesn't look at his email, or it's like the mail that comes in, he'll look at it in a year and a half. So I don't have any way, because then that car sold. It was the perfect car for him. It was dark. It was like anthracite gray, nice interior, for the stick shift on the floor, everything. It's a special car, and he told me himself on a live that he wanted that car for his collection. But I can't get through Scott to get him the information. But yes, he does want it.
Ford rules says he replaces carbs with EFI port injection plus fuel trim via ECU and sensors. Cars that parts aren't available.
I don't know what parts wouldn't be available. You can adapt the two barrel Ford carburetor to just about any car. and I say that because everybody here in Mexico has done it.
KJ Kale says, I live in San Antonio in the 80s. Barracuda says, do you see many VH Pacers here, there, Tavo? Tavo says, it's
Almost 3 o'clock
14:57.
in the afternoon.
Tavo says, all over the place, Barracuda. Time if you were taken off the road, too many of them. Butterfly says, CD Burlock, what does he use for a throttle body? Arbel says, everyone should like a good thing, a good tight box, a bit disappointing when one gets a loose shifter.
You can say that again. Mrs. Spec and I went to look at a Volkswagen Rabbit or Caribe or whatever here. The gear shift lever was moving around so much I couldn't find any of the gear. So, no, I don't think so.
Steven Andrews says Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern time too.
There is no Mountain right now because Mountain
Disappeared?
Yeah, because we were in Mountain Time. Well, maybe there is in the U.S., I guess, but Mountain Time, we were in Mountain Time. Now we're in Pacific Time.
Triple says, I wonder if that back glass is hard to get. Uno says, these fox bodies are mouth-watering like chamois. You gotta email me a few shots of them, please. Uno says, autocorrect me chamois says chamois.
Chamois.
It's the same thing. That one says they only built around 15,000 of them. Only around 2,000 still on the road. What? Uno says, damn it. Thunderbird says, I drive by Scott's place every day and I see him around, but somehow I never bumped into him anywhere. I think he really rarely leaves his property or the property. Overbill says,
Well, Thunderbird, why don't you stop in there and tell him that you talk to me all the time and his buddy Dan wants a Dodge Magnum. Let's get it to him. Edit. There's no Dodge Magnums for sale right now. There's not one in the whole country for sale. But when it comes up, we need to have that contact.
Overbill says the Weber 32/36 or 38/38 Weber clones work okay. I got one on the Toyota.
And Thunderbird, he does know me by name, both my name and Mexican Spec. So if you went in there and said that you talk to me all the time, he knows exactly who you're talking about.
Bob del Campo says to Steven Andrews, there is also Arizona time, which never changes.
Right. That because Arizona is now the same time, just like us, as Pacific time. That's why they have
so should I change my phone to Arizona time so it stops changing? It stops changing by itself?
Yes, but it doesn't work.
Dang it.
That's why they have the clocks up on the Hoover Dam, so you know what time it is in Nevada and which time it is in Arizona. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's different.
Biofly says, I have a craving for toffee.
Do you have the teeth for it though?
Yeah, question.
That's the most important thing.
Orville says, yes. Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific time. I think that's it. Steven says, geesh, I know Arizona. Not sure about Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado. Dean says, like GTHO, Falcons, only 250 made each year, but these are more GTHO clones than ever. Tavo says Barracuda, like the GTHO Falcon, only about 500 of the original 300 builds still exist. Tavo says, yeah, that thing. Thunderbird says, I'm sure I'll bump into him. Apparently he doesn't like drop-ins, but honestly, who does? I wouldn't like people crashing my place. Fair.
He has drop-ins all the time unless they tell him he's coming. That's his whole show is his friends coming over to do whatever there.
It's probably scheduled. It's probably
and if you do go talk to him, tell him he has to reserve the number 257 for me, Agent 257. I've already told him, but it gets mixed in it gets lost in the mix.
Overbill says they need to get rid of daylight savings time. Hard time switches sucks.
Supposedly, it's been voted on a few times, but they refuse to institute it in different states. So I don't know. They voted here not to do it, so we don't do it. But I still have to deal with you guys doing it now. Okay, what time is this live? Because Tony's live came on at 5 o'clock for me here. And the only way I knew that was Kathy posted the thumbnail, and it tells me what time it's coming on at my time. That's the only way I knew when I was going to be able to be on there. So then I set my clocks for what time that was coming on.
Okay, I have to. I just got an email from the transport company, uh, from Mazatlan,
Yeah.
and they want to talk to me tomorrow. Well, they would like me to call them to talk.
Okay, we got to get that set up, and because apparently we have people in Canada that want our cars, right, Thunderbird?
Hold on, I missed the chat. I know where I am. Hold on. Firefly says the upper denture helps out with preventing the roof of my mouth, but I can still wear out on the height of my tongue.
Yeah, but when you chew on toffee, it pulls your teeth out.
Uno,
That's the problem.
Uno says, not really. Send me some Fox, Mustang, and Caprice. You might start an itch I need to scratch.
We don't have Capris. We have all Mustangs. Even though they look like Capri notchbacks, they're not Capris.
I'll make a note and
I
send
already
you.
did. I sent it to you.
I'll make a note and I'll send you pictures.
I have his
So,
email.
did I ask you?
I volunteered the information. You don't need to ask.
Butterfly says pineapples can take their toll on one's tongue. Yeah, pineapples are nasty. I mean, not nasty as in, but like pineapples, like will they like don't want to eat you. Pineapples want to eat you.
Yeah, that's why they got the like thorns coming out.
The
Don't
juices,
touch me.
the juices dissolve you.
This sorry. This carryall that's on screen right now, this is the only four-door carryall I've ever seen. The only one. And I have to publish it quickly to see if I can get it sold. Because that's what everybody wants, a four-door. I don't know how they snake the gas tank behind the wheel, because no other Mexican truck had that. They were all in front of the left wheel. But I'm gonna see.
Orville says I hate the time switching. Darn typos. Trevor says act like you're looking for your lost dog. That always works. Oh, to sneak into the guy's house. Firefly
So
says
you're Scott, aren't you? I recognize you even without the beard.
Ford says the Firefly, his ECU is neutral or universal, just the hardware is custom. Firefly says, which is why I don't cook with pineapple juice because it doesn't stop tenderizing, which is bad for storage. Yeah. Andrew says Google says it's 10:33 in Utah, Colorado too. Thunderbird says,
yeah, it's mountain time.
Yeah, I've just met him and I don't want to intrude. I'm sure I'll be in his videos eventually. Actually, his neighbor has a T-bird in the woods that I want to buy someday. Mm-hmm. That was his confusion supreme here. Some states do DST, some don't, so it differs here state to state. Firefly says, oh, got it. Thunderbird says, oh yes, I want me a carryall. I gotta save up more money first. Una says chicle. Make a note about chicle and then we can trade. Orville says, yeah, I feel you, man. Here all hate we all hate saving time. The government folks are just trolls being downhill ever since those darn Dominion voting machines though. Foster Campos says in the US, two states don't observe daylight times, Arizona and Hawaii. One exception is the Navajo Nation in Arizona does observe daylight time.
They have to be rebels, don't they? Well, I wouldn't expect Arizona. I wouldn't expect Hawaii to. There's no reason for them to do it way out in the middle of the water.
Thunderbird says, "Holy crap, a four-door? That's gotta be expensive."
I don't think it is because it's a what do they call it? A brick nose. It's the 87. I think it's an 87 model, and they were starting to phase them out by then. So I'm just shocked to see a four-door because where that left door is where the gas cap is on every other one. So they had to do some different thing. Maybe they put the gas tank in the same place, but they put a longer neck out to the back. I don't know what they did. I'm gonna have to see, and that also affects getting parts if we need parts for it. Because if they custom made that long neck, we'd have to do the same thing to replace it.
Bargota says they look good in Mercury silver too. I get sick of seeing orange. Mark says, sorry, I had to put the recycling out. Anybody miss me? LMAO, I miss you, Mark. Firefly says, sounds like the ECU in Speedoino base. Speedoino base? Most economical way to do it. Open source. World of Woodchip is here.
Hello, world of wood chip.
And they said, I am ruler of Omicron per se 8. Are we LARPing right now? I'm not ready. I don't have a dress or my sword. Tabo says presently South Oz is 1 hour ahead of the Northern Territory. End of March will be on the same zone. Currently 2.5 ahead of Western Australia. Next month it'll be 1.5 hours. Thunderbird says, where did Dean go? Yeah, I wonder because we were talking about something a while ago and I asked him where he was and I don't know. Maybe he lost power to his house? Ford says Firefly. He wrote it himself. He's an electrical engineer. All his work. Firefly says Dean is adjusting clocks too. Oh, this is here. This year. Hi, Dean.
Mhm.
I forgot the questions I have for you. Sorry. Firefly says. Sylvander says shame. They never made Dodge 4-door Ram Chargers. Although I've seen a few conversions. Oh yeah, about the anyway. Uno says, what years were the Mustangs sold down there? Again, please. Did you get the 67, 68 Cougar? What about Ford Couriers or Dodge D50s or Chevy Loves?
Okay, Mustangs were sold from 64 and a half. The 64 and a half Mustangs were actually made in the U.S. and sent down to Mexico, and you can tell by it because it has a U.S. VIN, but in the middle of the VIN it has MEX in it. 1965, they started making them in Mexico. They sold them from 64 and a half to 1984 in Mexico. No Cougars were sold here, and none of the mini trucks were sold here, but they're all here because they were all brought in the early 2000s. There's Couriers, there's Loves, there's D50s, there's everything all over the place here.
Um, the question was if you can put Coyote inside a Mustang something.
A Mustang too.
Yeah,
Don't worry about that. Keep going.
that was says wait. Yes, that was says now we're half hour ahead of Queensland. Next month, Queensland will be half an hour ahead of us. Thunderbird says they probably moved the tank further back, just like a 4-door pickup with dual tanks.
Yes, but that was they didn't have those parts in Mexico. They only had it for the the tube to be right in front of the left tire. Now they put the extra door there, so they had to move it back. So I don't know if they moved the whole tank back. I don't know what they did. I would have to look at that.
There's someone new. This Prac C is here. A Prac.
Hola,
Hola Prac. Says la Suburban esa en cuánto.
me tiene que mandar un correo para preguntar y yo puedo buscar.
¿Puedo poner tu correo aquí?
No,
Ok.
mándame un correo y puedes encontrarlo en mi sitio web, mexicanspec.com.
Sí.
Y te puede dar el precio. ¿Estás en México o estás en el otro lado?
Dean says like Firefly, I ish upon your clock. Steven Andrews says Australia has 4 time zones. And Dean Simmons says hi. Mark says to Buff Campo. Just a thought, Buff. With the bet going in the Ute, will it be made removable in case you need to replace the fuel filter tube in the future? The number says so. The Ford high body trucks often or maybe exclusively had the fuel tank behind the bench seats in the cab.
Yeah, that was on the much older vehicles, not the bull nose or the brick nose.
That was Steven Andrews. 10, 12, what? No, 200 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, depending on the time of year. I think that's what they're saying. I forgot.
Mm.
Steven Dean says, I'm just drooling over the birds. I don't know what the birds are. Trouble says, it has an 85 miles per hour speedometer. Firefly says, sounds interesting. City Boulevard. City Boulevard.
What had the 85-mile-per-hour speedometer?
I think that one. Barco says there's been a black VH Pacer and shows in Australia, but I'm suspicious it seems like a Ranger to me. For one thing, it doesn't have Pacer slash Regal taillights bezels. I could be wrong. Dean Stevenson says Dino and the Drooling Dog. Ford says find the Ranger Rover 1950s. Uno says did they sell the Mustang twos?
Yes, Uno. Every Mustang from 64 and a half to 1984, they sold in Mexico, and every one of them had a V8 under the hood, including 1974.
Trebolo says I wonder if my old Chevy Love is in Mexico now.
Maybe.
Boy Carfano says always wanted Back to the Future Toyota pickup. They all rusted away in Massachusetts.
Everybody wants it now. People are doing replicas of them and selling them at Barrett Jackson and selling them for a lot of money.
Buster Campo access to Mark. We had the panel in front of the tailgate open to access the spare tire like a station wagon, and there will be an access panel on each side like the Australian Ute.
Good night, Ford. We'll see you next time. Probably on Tuesday with Buff.
Buster Campo says everything will be accessible.
Ford's leaving.
Bye. Good night, Ford. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good night, Ford. The incident says the A4 Audi 100.
That's what the owner's manual says. Somebody put an A4 badge on the back, but it's not a car that I recognize. That's why I published it, because it's an odd looking car to me.
Double says the Ram Charger, the speedometer was in kilometers per hour, but it only went to up to 85.
Did you see the other numbers though? Because the speedometer had both of them 8 kilometers and miles per hour.
Firefly is allergic to Audis. The instrument says
everybody should be.
That was his word. Yeah, I just had to look that up in the parts book. Wasn't sure myself. Yeah, should have the Regal type vessel. Pergola says Audi partner Birdie Num Nums. And it says clean engine.
Here's the dark green Cougar I was talking about, Ford Cougar.
Thunderbird says that's a nice Cougar.
It is.
I want to take a sip. Hold on.
Dark green makes any car look good.
I'm having lemonade, but it's leaving a film of something on the back of my throat. That's why I keep clearing my throat. Nobody says I couldn't see. Policarpona says is Cougar an XR7?
No, this isn't the supercharged one. It's just a base model, I guess, or whatever the midline is. But you could have gotten the Thunderbird in these years with a 3.8 liter V6 and a 5-speed manual transmission in the base model car. It didn't have to be a super coupe.
Dean says you're a seller out. What's a seller out? Papa says Audi repairs. Step 1, remove the front end assembly. Thunderbird says my friend has a 1968 Cougar that I could wear is the same green color. I could swear it's the same green color.
You can't swear on YouTube.
Mark says Inspector Clouseau.
Inspector Clouseau. Mm-hmm. Even all the Thunder, they did sell the RX-7, sorry, the XR7 in Mexico with the supercharged engine in the Cougars. I think they all had cloth interior here. I don't think I've seen a Super Coupe or a XR7 with leather interior. So, and here's a Super Coupe.
Margarita says, I think I might try and get vessels like that for my Ranger. They look good. Firefly develops an eye twitch. Why are you yawning so much? What the hell, man?
I've been yawning all day. I don't get to take naps. And the time thing screwed me up.
Me too. That's why I took it.
Because I got up at 9 and then 9:10 and then 9:20 and then 9:30. But it was actually 8:30. Even though we don't change the time here.
I was wondering why you were up so early.
We had to change our time. The red looks good on the Super Coupe too.
Barguda says, do you speak Hindustani?
I know he's not asking me. I have enough trouble with English.
Daniel says Ricola, cough drops. I don't wanna have cough drops because I'm drinking something. So the cough drops are minty. I wanna have mint lemonade. Steven says the contemporary Tibbers never had a grill I liked. Would like the Cougar front with the Tibber roofline.
Mm. I like the more formal roofline though, instead of a fastback. Just a personal thing.
Dean says he was a very Hurundi v Bakshi. I don't know what that is. Thunderbird says, "Yes, I know I'm a child, but I want a brown Thunderbird that I call the Okay." Daniel Morrison says, "Stay awake, guys. We have hours to go."
We're
Dean says,
working on it. My clock says 19 minutes and 32 seconds.
"Huh? Um, uh,
Some of the pictures are missing.
yeah." Dean says, "Peter Sellers the party." Double says, "I wonder what will happen if I put a bigger supercharger on it."
You'll probably blow the head gaskets because the supercharger blew them already.
Dean says, "The party came out in 1968." Firefly looks around cautiously for Kato. Cautiously for Kato. Who's Kato?
I don't know. He's telling his own story.
Isn't that the one from?
Green Lantern?
Yeah.
No, Green Arrow? Green something?
Whatever.
Green something.
Bargula says, "Spell it. I'll see to it he never works in this town again." Thunderbird says, "I love that red Thunderbird."
It's got a 5-speed.
Bargula says, "That's not good."
I don't know what that switch is there. Maybe automatic headlights? I don't know. I rented these Thunderbirds and Cougars, but I've never driven a supercharged one.
The cat wants to go in and is scratching at the door.
Open. How strong are you?
Hey, baby.
All you had to do was push the door.
Hey, baby.
Left the door open for you. So I didn't have to get up and open it.
There's a mosquito. Hey, baby. Come here. Say hi to the people. Say hi to the people.
Joey, you're told. Green Hornet. There you go. I know it was green something.
Bargula says, "Elvis Presley's favorite movie I heard." Mark says, "The Wildfly, you might want to keep your twitching eye on that frog in the corner." Barfly says, "Hornet, that is." Barfly says, "Slowly losing his typing ability." Barracuda says, "Probably my favorite too." Dewey says, "Is that an M90 supercharger?"
I wouldn't know the difference very well.
Dean says, "Director Fred R. Clutterbuck writes down Hrundi's name to blacklist him, but he inadvertently writes it on the guest list for his upcoming dinner party." Steven Andrews says, "Kitty?" Yes, there's a kitty here.
Now he doesn't want to talk.
He doesn't want to.
No, he doesn't want to. I got it. Got my skin too.
New tires, says Daniel. Thunderbird says, "So weird. I can't see any of the stray bullets chats."
You have to put it on live chat, Thunderbird.
Some,
Otherwise, you can't see Stray Bullet.
sometimes it resets.
He's in YouTube jail.
Carfana says 380
3800.
3800 GM motor run for every nice Bonneville.
This is a very clean Bonneville. It's really weird to see one here like this because I'm not sure if this was sold here. Because Pontiac started selling cars in the early 2000s. I think this is a 1990 something model.
Fernando says, that was a Thunderbird. Switch from top chat to live chat. Mark says Thunderbird, are you on live chat? That was his live chat.
We're all telling you the same thing, Thunderbird. You always have to check to see if you're on live chat because it blocks some of the people that YouTube doesn't want you to see.
He says, yes, I'm on live chat. Did you block him perhaps? Maybe that's why you can't see him.
Or maybe he hasn't posted anything in a while.
He posted something. I don't have a clock on this. No, he just asked if that is the M90 Supercharger.
Your hand off. Goes in the corner.
Sorry. Barcula says, I hope my 3.8 GM motor runs forever. I love it. Touching wood. Sabo says, if it's any consolation, Treble it. I can't see you. They say, hi, Thunderbird. Treble says, hi, Thunderbird. Boomer says, 3800s had upper and lower intake leak problems, and those plastic bypass tubes. Thunderbird says, no, I never blocked anyone. What did you do, Treble? Treble says, thanks,
I'm
Daddy.
sure the list is long, Thunderbird.
Steven Andrew says, give Kitty a slow airplane for me. Hold on, let me take my glasses off. Oh, he's so cute. He's a menace when he wants to be, but every once in a while he's a pillow. Butterfly says I had one
3800.
3800 seized up from a customer that never missed an oil change. Ended up being the balance shaft in the lifter valley seized up because it got bent somehow. We never could figure out why. Mark says, Boomer, you have not terribly bad issues though. Triple says they don't care for my politics, Thunderbird. Boomer is leaving.
Good night, Boomer. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for being here.
We'll see you soon. You're probably asking why I put an Explorer on here. You've never seen a stick shift Explorer before, buddy? They made a lot of them, especially the two-wheel drives and the two doors, the Explorer Sport. They made a lot of them. I don't think they made a V8 stick shift though. I think they were all 6 cylinders.
Daniel Martin says it's time for vanilla ice cream and a sugar cone. Which one is the sugar cone?
The one that he posted there.
Oh, the regular. Okay, I like the waffle cone better. That's my favorite.
That's a lot to eat though. It's much bigger than the sugar cone.
Yeah, sure. But we went to Dairy Queen the other day on Friday, and Mr. Spec wanted an ice cream, and of course they didn't have the ice cream that he wanted.
The ice cream they had, they didn't have the Reese's to put in the
yeah.
In the thing.
He was asking me for water and ice cream, and I'm like, I want a waffle cone. And I said, that's too much ice cream. He said, well, ask without the ice cream then.
I'm not gonna pay for a cone just for the cone with no ice cream.
I just want the cone. Bellfly says, I've seen plenty of stick shift Explorers. Bergula says, of course, I have the most refined version of the 3.8. Sonneberg says, so I'm working on the 77 at my parents' shop, and there's a new Mouser cat there. Constantly wants to jump on my shoulder when I'm working. He jumps off when the grinder starts with the pain. Oh, yes.
Well, if he jumps on your back, bend over, jumps on your back, he can massage your back. That should feel good.
But
unless he uses his nails.
That's what he's saying, the pain, because it changes, he claws him.
Oh, well. See, I'm an old man. I would figure he jumps on your back and your muscles hurt,
No.
not from the nails.
Tao says only imported aromatic exploders to us. Dean says, lol, I don't doubt it, Barracuda. Paramore says, I love waffle cones better also. A lot of sugar. I like fresh handmade ones. Cold ice cream and warm waffle cone.
But then the
Oh,
ice cream melts really fast, so you better get into it quickly.
yes. Oh,
This cat here is not a jumper.
no,
He
it
has
sucks at
he
jumping.
has a hard time. He just jumped up on the bed, but he just barely gets to the mattress, and then he claws himself up the side of the bed to get onto the mattress.
Yeah.
He is not a jumper at all. I have my Durango backed up to the front gate, and I have my station wagon inside the gate, so he'll jump on the hood of the.
Wagon.
How does he get up on the Durango?
He doesn't.
Oh, I guess he uses it just to go out then,
Yeah.
or he'll get up on the roof somehow.
He goes up by the tree.
I don't know, but he's not a jumper. He's the least cat I've known.
uh, Thunderbird says he climbs to my shoulder with his claws. Yesterday I wasn't wearing work overalls and man did it hurt.
Is he a full size cat or is he a kitten? You said he's new to the shop, so maybe he's a kitten.
Dean says there were 5-speed Mazda dogs available on the base of EH4 litter. Barracuda, I've seen an RHD one with a central handbrake.
You want me to translate that for you?
Yeah.
That's overhead valve 4 liter. I've seen a right hand drive one with a center handbrake.
Okay. Mark says, ice cream float.
But then you have to have the soda in there, and I don't like soda with my ice cream.
I don't like root beer. Can you have other sodas?
Yeah, there's a cream soda. There's yeah.
Another says my kitty thinker used to run right up my back. Ow, the claws.
You have to train them.
Firefly says ice cream is great for sore throats. Dr. Fly recommends.
Okay, now you come here to Mexico, and the old wives are going to tell you you cannot have anything cold when you have a sore throat because it won't heal. I asked my doctor about that, and he says, "Well, they're right. They're a little bit right because the coldness will slow down the healing of your sore throat." But I do it anyway.
Dean says I've got a picture of a green one in New Zealand.
Cat?
I don't know. Mark says I have zero sugar cream soda here.
I don't even know what cream soda is. I'm
Thunderbird
sure it
says
has cream in it.
Thunderbird says he's halfway between a kitten and a full cat. I think about 5 months.
Oh, so he's an adolescent.
Dean says, but they weren't coming.
Try to snap in his face like that. Get his attention when he does something like that. I hear all these stories about cats. They tell you what they want. You have to do it. With this cat here, I make it a point to have him come to me. He was just laying on the corner of my bed, and I laid on the bed farther away, and I made him come over to me to be pet. I wasn't going to go to him. It's all psychological. You got to make him, ask for it.
Durando says Dr. Pepper makes good floats. Thunderbird says I love spicy food when I have a sore throat. Seems to suit it. Firefly says and iron pills are good for carbon monoxide exposure and women's period fatigue.
Iron
Yes.
pills.
Yeah. Um, Mark says I tried to look up what a cream soda is. Looks like it's made from vanilla. Of
Made
vanilla.
of vanilla. Okay. But you can put vanilla ice cream in Coca Cola and have a Coke float. It goes.
So it says cream soda is an odd flavor.
I'm not sure I like the green on this beetle. I'm not sure. I'd rather have dark. I don't know how to take that, Dean.
What? I just read that.
I'm not sure.
I do have a leash.
We have a few leashes, and one of them is even chain. One's a chain.
I'm not kink shaming anyone.
Hmm?
Buffalo Campbell says milk and Coke tastes just about like ice cream and Coke.
Isn't that what they had on Laverne and Shirley? Milk and Pepsi? It always seemed odd to me.
My grandma used to tell me that if you have milk and you have soda, you will get a bad stomachache.
Maybe whoever sells the milk and Coke has stock in Pepto Bismol.
The says I agree with you, Mexican Spec.
Thank you, Daniel.
Mark says every time I got sick, my mom would make spaghetti with her spicy sauce. That would cure a cold. Ralph says iron pills will also make your blood redder and your stool pitch black. Your body gets rid of the excess, still increases endurance.
Hmm.
Sabo says Southern Comfort plus Sprite equals creamy soda that eventually knocks you out.
Yeah, but I don't want the alcohol.
Polycarpana says rather have a Wendy's Frost instead of a float. Frosty.
Me too, but the closest Wendy's for us is in Chihuahua, the state of Chihuahua. And we will be going there at some point, maybe
Yay.
in a month and a half or so, but I don't have that option right now. I'm going to get a hamburger with 3 or 4 meat patties on it and cheese and no bread. That's what I'm going to eat, plus the fries that I dip in the Frosty.
Joel says I didn't even see Dean. Hi Dean. Dean says it is a song by the Stooges and Sonic Youth. Redid it too. Thunderbird says, do you folks remember Blue Pepsi? I stole a bottle when I was younger and guzzled it. Made me throw up blue all over the sidewalk.
Well, instant karma.
Well, Blue Pepsi. Chevrolet says, ginger ale is what you want when you're sick. I do have
That's what
ginger.
Mrs. Beck has been drinking this whole time. We bought some more on Friday.
Buff the Campo says, Laverne and Shirley is why I started doing that. It was so good.
It never sounded like something I wanted to try, so I didn't.
Dean says, that'll learn you, T-Bird. Mark says, Otavo, I have a motto. Southern comfort makes me stupid.
So you've tried it.
Steven Andrews says, I remember Crystal Pepsi.
Yeah, but it seemed weird to me. Why not just drink 7 Up?
Patrick says, Soko is cough syrup. What is Soko? Barcala says, I don't want my stool black. I've just scraped and revarnished it. Ah, Mark says, Barcala LMAO. Diane Mark says, a naked burger.
I have no choice, Daniel. I can't eat the bread. Can't have gluten.
Dean says, treat your cat so it has to behave like a dog. Mexican factor.
I don't want the cat to behave like a dog. He can behave like a cat, but he has to come over to me.
Barcala says, Leven and Shoily.
Yeah,
Archie Bunker version.
Laverne and Shorty.
Bellfly says, tequila's my kryptonite. Nearly lost a finger in a car door because I didn't feel it. 6 shots. Wow.
We have lots of tequila here, Firefly.
And lots of doors.
It's yeah. It's called Tequila Jalisco. It's a town in Jalisco that makes all that tequila. So if you go there, there's a tour. They show you how to do it. They give you samples of a bunch of different tequilas, and you better not be driving when you go.
No, it takes you by the train.
Yeah.
Mark says mixing a spec. Oh yes, and when I would get drunk on SC, I would do stupid things, so I stopped.
I'm glad you
Southern
remembered.
Comfort.
I'm glad you remembered you did the stupid things.
Southern Comfort. That's what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say.
Southern Comfort.
Dean says tourette. Double says you could use lettuce on a bun.
I don't eat
As a bun.
lettuce. I don't eat lettuce. I just pick up the hamburger with my hands.
The, nu-
Or if they have a knife and fork, that'll work too.
the number says, ay, nada, ahora tengo hambre. ¿Me vas a comprar algo de comer?
No,
Cómprame algo de comer.
it's late.
No me importa, tengo hambre. Cómprame un hot dog.
No,
Sí, un hot dog.
no.
I'm hungry.
There's no place to eat around here.
If they send me a super chat, can
We don't do super chats.
I'm hungry. The number says, I had a dream that I fell into an ocean of orange soda. Then I woke up and it was only a fantasia. Fanta-
Yeah.
Fantasia.
I'm glad you didn't say red. Strawberry Fanta tastes like medicine.
Sirandro says, use lettuce leaves to hold the burger.
No, I don't want lettuce touching my skin. Yeah.
You're such a baby. This says, here, cat, want a pet? And Bellfly says, oh no, I must flee from that town. The couple says, red Pontiac. Hi, baby.
That was a supercharged Grand Prix, which is hard to find here.
Trevor says, caveman style burger. Dean says, here, Patrick, want a hat-trick? A hat-trick? Mark says, Mexican Spec, back in my heavy drinking days, at just about the time I would black out, I would get sick.
Ooh, that's dangerous. That could take you out.
And that's one of the reasons I never get drunk and I don't drink. Thunderbird says, do you guys have a DoorDash or anything else?
Yes.
We do have Uber Eats and Didi. I don't know if Didi is.
But I will not pay for that, and you don't know what you're getting anyway.
I want something. I bought a pizza. I bought a pizza once when you weren't here.
Yeah, I wasn't here, so I didn't know.
Josh Juan says, don't kids in Mexico pick up their toys?
Sure.
Boris Carfano says, grape Fanta.
And if they don't, their mother says, I'm going to hit you, but they never do.
They do too? What are you talking about?
Te pego. And then they never do.
They do too.
They do not.
You're crazy. Boris Carfano says, grape Fanta. Boris says, the one liquor that I appear to be immune to is Canadian Mist. It slaughtered everyone else around me, and I was left standing. Everyone outweighed me by 80 to 100 pounds.
So you had a contest.
Steve says, you don't have to eat the lettuce.
Eat the lettuce.
We'll do that with a bun. I just use it to hold the patty and tear it off as I go. Carbs are bad. Okay.
Yeah, but if if the hamburger comes with the cheese on the top, and I'm holding the lettuce on top, it's just gonna take the cheese off with it. So I've got my hands. My hands are fine. I can get my hands dirty. I'll just go through a lot of napkins. I'll take a bite, wipe my hands, take another bite, wipe my hands.
You should lick your fingers. Wash your hands first and then lick your fingers. You save napkins that way. Buffalo Campos, and of course, the Kai is a car like. The red looks good. And Morris says, I have a lot of friends from Jalisco.
Have you been talking to them about what's going on there, Daniel? Because I've been talking to my friends there to see how things are going. And it was bad for like 48 hours, and then everything calmed down. They cleaned up the streets, all the burnt cars and stuff, and everything calmed down.
Mark says, my favorite is a Bloody Caesar with a beer chaser. Haven't had that in years now. My favorite is a margarita with no alcohol in it.
Margarita.
Margarita with no alcohol in it.
I don't think I've ever had Papa John's pizza.
I don't know. After number says, we had Papa John's last night, little treat. Oh, now I want Papa John's.
We have Little Caesars close to us, but I don't think I've had Papa John's. And I had a lot of Domino's when I lived in Oregon.
I don't know where Papa John's is. Stribble says, I won't pay for that either. I walk to the grocery store first.
We do walk to the grocery store.
Yep. Bargola says, Buff, why? Well, we can walk to get the hot dogs.
I can walk. You don't walk. You're sick.
I'll walk to get a hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Buff
like they'll be open at 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
It's 10. Pablo says, you don't pick up your toys. Mom throws a shoe at you. Your mom is Peruvian. Latin mothers have good aim. Yes, they
Oh,
do.
yes, they do.
Triple says, give it up, guys. The lettuce will contaminate the meat. Mándeme.
The meat already ate enough lettuce, so I don't need to eat the lettuce.
Polly Carfana says, who needs lettuce? That's what bacon's for. Dean says, Iraqis are good with shoes too.
Only two of them, Dean. And the president was even faster.
Thunderbird says, Firefly, my mom killed a black mamba with a running shoe once. Pablo Campos says, to Barry, I drove a car in England. It had a leather interior. I really like that car. Small, nimble, easy to drive in the city. Good on roads too.
Well, at least, Buff, if you buy a Mexican one, you won't have to worry about that air conditioner thing. You won't have to worry about it at all.
Firefly says, reflexes. Triple says, Papa John's isn't that great. I wouldn't know until I try it. And I would like to try it. Simando says, so no wheat, gluten, corn tortillas okay though.
Yes, that's the tortilla I can eat, and I don't really like them. So I have my bread, gluten-free bread.
The number says, when someone asks me if I want lettuce, I'm like, do I look like a rabbit?
You never want to ask a question you don't want to know the answer to, Thunderbird.
Well, if you're a waiter, you want to know the answer.
Because they may say, yes, you do look like a rabbit.
Oh, that question.
Yeah.
Simandro says, if you come to Washington, Forelli's pizza is awesome.
Sounds like an Italian name.
Joey says, that's it. Use bacon as a bun.
I don't think my doctor would appreciate that.
Firefly says, corn tortillas are risky. Some use flour to enhance them.
They don't here.
No, they don't here.
No. Tortillas are the staple of everybody's diet here. So there's a standard way they make them, and the price is controlled by the government generally.
Buffalo Campos says, no AC? Well, the windows rank down.
Yes, they do.
Buffalo says, the only thing more dangerous than a question is an answer.
Mm-hmm. The tortillas at Walmart are $14.50 or $14.90 a kilo.
But
so that's not a bad price.
But the kilo is like 20 something right now.
Well, the price over there is 14 something
Walmart
a kilo.
Doesn't have the set price.
Well, whatever. That's what we're paying. 14 something a kilo for corn tortillas.
Bargela says, my brother had a cat. To look at it, it reminded me of a vacuum cleaner I had at the time. The Morrissey says, no, most all live here. They go back and visit every year. The old timers came in 68, 71, and raised and had their kids here. They came to Point Reyes Station, California, in Marin County, work on ranches.
Oh, okay, okay.
Dean says, when I saw President Bush's Mr. Miyagi, I almost believed after his showing show. Bob says, damn, that's a good price.
Yeah, you get a lot for that. It's a kilo of tortillas is a lot of tortillas. And Mrs. Spec eats them herself.
Thunderbird says there's a really good Mexican restaurant in town, Mexico Lindo, and they have really good food. Do you know what a rusa is?
No. Do you?
It's a drink, isn't it? It's an alcoholic drink.
Isn't that somebody from Russia? Rusa.
I mean, yes, but I know a White Russian.
It's an alcoholic drink. Yeah.
I don't know about food, but it's called rusa. It says Mr. Miyagi responds as Jon Stewart said. Polycarp says fried chicken from KFC.
Nobody. That is bad. Bad, bad, bad. Even when I didn't know I was allergic to gluten, every time I had KFC, the chicken, not the nuggets, but the chicken, I would get sick. Every time. But I still went back for it. So there's something in the food that makes you want to go back. The same thing with Big Macs. There's something in Big Macs that even though they get you sick, you go back for it the next time. I don't know what that thing is, but it's in there.
Firefly says, okay, past midnight, time for bed. And they curl up in his matchbook bed and drink some 32 tacos.
Good night, Firefly.
Good night, Firefly. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for passing time with us.
Dean says Dyson Barracuda. Triple says tortillas last for a long time in the refrigerator. Very efficient bread product. No, they don't. They last for a long time in the freezer. In the refrigerator,
Now,
it's
now, now, wait a minute. He's talking about a very different tortilla than we get here. Those have preservatives in it
yeah,
that he has. The ones that are made here have nothing like that in it. So they don't last as long as the ones over there.
no.
And we're willing to put up with that. So they're a lot more healthy and taste better.
Then Morris says homemade tortillas are the best, made with the wood press, nice and warm. Wood press.
Yeah, we there's a little place in Nogales when we go there to deliver a car. There's a little restaurant thing. An old woman owns it, and Doña Lupita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lupita. And as you're sitting there, you place your order. There's a lady in the corner making the tortillas that they're going to deliver your table right there. Just you can watch her do it. So they're as fresh can be.
Mark says KFC has gone downhill in the last 20 plus years.
They were always downhill, but the nuggets were good. And unfortunately, they don't have any nuggets here in Mexico at KFC. That's not a product that they serve here.
Barracuda says, I see things others don't, I think. For example, some models of BMWs looks like capybaras to me. Maybe. I could see that. Bible says, I don't know if you had the same jingle there, but we modified it to here to today's KFC Kentucky Fried Cat. What?
You didn't hear that, Joey.
He's asleep. Dean says
He's
BMW.
listening.
Dean says BMW 1 Series low. The number says Rusa is a spicy Mexican drink made with squirt and tajin. That must be a new thing. Also, I don't drink, so I
It's
wouldn't
probably
know.
just what they called it. That
Yeah.
that one restaurant.
Trouble says the KFC here is terrible. Nothing compels me to want to go back. Fernando says it's McDonald's fries that always seem to give me a tummy ache.
I thought that too, because I would get sick at McDonald's, but it could have been the Coke from their fountain. Now, since COVID, our McDonald's here took the fountain out for hygiene reasons, and they have the one behind the counter, and I never get sick. I don't get sick anymore. Of course, I'm not eating the bread anymore either, so it might have been that. Might have been that I didn't know about at the time because I order the double quarter pounder with cheese, only the two patties in the box, which is meat, cheese. I told them to put both cheeses in between the meats, and then I have the ketchup from the kitchen on the other side, and I cut it and I eat it like that. So there's nothing really to get me sick, but the Coke from their fountain in the back doesn't get me sick.
Margarita says a cheap one from the warehouse. Mark says seasoned wheat flowering. That's why your tummy hurts when you eat at KFC.
Well, 11 herbs and spices, and it's all gluten.
That says that will be KFR, Dean. Kentucky Fried Rat. Mark says Dean KFR low. Margarita says capybara. Dean says I was never really good with lettuce. How? Well, says KFC used to always be so consistent. It's terrible what happened to them. Regular says, are there capybara in Mexico? No,
I don't think so.
no. They're farther down. They have them in the zoos. Mm. Sandra says the Puerto Vallarta restaurants up here had a tortilla machine. You wanted the dough. You watched the dough become a tortilla. Yeah, that's what the
Yeah. So that's as fresh as you can get it. As
that's what
fresh as you can get it.
that's what most of the tortilla places here use. They use a machine.
When I went to that place, the Lupita place, the first time was with my son's mother, and she looked over at the tortilla thing, and she says that's exactly how my grandmother used to make them, and she just loved those tortillas. Brought
Yeah,
back a lot of memories for her. You too?
not memories, not really. Like
Oh, your
my,
grandmother didn't make them like that.
I don't remember. Dean says, but the idea is the seed. So why, if you were selling rats, would you call it KFR? Dean says that will too honest to be deceitful. The other says, well, Rusa is popular in Monterrey apparently. I made friends with someone from there and they had me the recipe, so I went to a Mexican store and bought the ingredients.
Oh,
Could be an
yeah.
alcoholic drink, but since I don't drink alcohol, I wouldn't know.
It could be a regional thing in Monterey.
Policarpano says, it's not the soda that makes you sick, it's the mold in the ice cream machine.
The i the ice machine.
In the ice machine.
That's very possible.
Yeah.
You never know.
Thermore says, what's up, Buff?
You never know what, there's so many things in that meal that could get you sick. But we go back, maybe once every 2 weeks or so to McDonald's to get the food that I like, and I have to tell them how to do it, and I don't get sick. I don't know if my stomach is doing better than it used to, or I'm just not eating. There's just nothing in the meal that I eat that gets me sick. The fries are made in the same oil as they make the nuggets, so it's possible a little cross contamination. But I'm not that sensitive to it. There's some people that just a little bit of gluten in their system and they're in the hospital. I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
Daniel says, really nice return bug.
There's one of those close to me that's like 2 hours away. It's been for sale for a long time, but I didn't get any customers on that one. Very few of these wagons here in Mexico had the covered headlights, unfortunately. But this one, this country sedan, it might even be a Galaxy wagon, but I'd have to look to see if it actually has the country sedan emblems on it, because they might not have called it that here. Could have been just a Galaxy wagon. Um, it's very rare to see one with the covered headlights and fully loaded and all that.
Barguda says, a friend of mine thinks the grill on a 67 Dodge Coronet looks like a whale's plankton straining mouth.
It does.
Mark says to Stray Bullet, I think AFC no longer controls their locations much anymore. That's why it's not good anymore.
Well, but the corporate is supposed to keep their franchisees in line. It doesn't matter if it's a franchise. It needs to be the same as every other KFC around the world.
Stray Bullet says, does anyone notice how bread doesn't get moldy anymore?
Mine's in the refrigerator, and it's gluten free, so I can't. I don't know.
Mark
You
says,
you might know. You get regular bread.
mm, I get regular bread, but not regularly. But mine does get moldy if I don't eat it in like a week and a half. Then it says it's fast food, it's crap. Then says that's the El Falcon GT Balance Wheel. Mark says if the cup's nozzles are not kept clean in the soda dispensers, they get nasty and probably why the place you went to no longer had it.
Mark, during COVID, they got rid of all of that. You weren't even supposed to be sitting down in there eating anything, so they just got rid of all of it.
They also had they used to have the table with the sauces on it, like put your own ketchup and stuff like that. They
Yeah,
got rid of it.
yeah, they don't do it. They don't, and they never brought it back.
No.
It's probably because most of their business now is like Uber
Delivery.
Eats, yeah, and all that. So they just prepare everything before it. I'm back there, and it's fine. It's fine. We don't need to have the fountain out front for the kids to throw the stuff all over the place anyway.
Jennifer says, I avoid bread too, but I'll eat it occasionally. I actually cannot function if I eat a normal diet. That's why I do mostly carnivore.
If that's what's working for you, because I remember Joe Rogan said when he first started doing carnivore, he was in the bathroom for quite a while because his body was getting used to it. But
Andrew says, there was the ranch wagon too.
yeah, but not in Mexico. You had just the one model. That's it. The ranch wagon was the base model that had no options, and then you had the country sedan, and then you had the country squire. But in Mexico, it was just the one model.
Mark says, straight bullet? No, ours gets moldy very quickly now. Dean says, like a ranch salad.
Mm-hmm.
Straight bullet says, they are really hit or miss, Mark. Dean says, even the mold can stand it.
Well, I hope my client contacts me because he wants the Omega that's in Chihuahua because I really want to go to Wendy's again.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a couple of years now. It had been over 20 years since I went to Arby's, and we found it in at the mall next to our hotel in Guadalajara. I don't need to go back there ever.
Where?
Arby's.
Oh.
The food, the meat just was not. It's not enough. The flavor or anything for how much you have to pay for it. Because I just get it in a bowl because I can't have the bread or anything,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not good, especially for that price. And now they have all the other meats. They have everything else besides roast beef. So they're not concentrating and making one thing good. So Danny Morrissey says wagons are so nice. Wish they still produce them the old way. Yeah, because when you have a small SUV, you can't send your kid far enough back to get away from you.
Mark says, I need to lose weight, big time. If I remember next time we wind up at McDonald's, I will order my burger with lettuce instead of a bun. I also need to lose weight. I'm been eating a little bit better, but what I need to do is to exercise. I just don't do. My work is sitting in front of the computer for hours and hours and hours, and after that, I just lay about in the house. So I need to do exercise. There says, miss my 1974 LTD station wagon.
My problem, Daniel, is when I have a wagon, I want the two-door hardtop. When I have the two-door hardtop, I want the wagon.
And you don't want to move to that house.
So I'm never satisfied with what I have.
Patrick says, I'm out. Have a good one, all. Good night, Mrs. Beck. Mr. and Mrs. Beck.
Good night, Patrick. Thanks for being here.
Good night, Patrick. Dean says, twin snorks.
Yeah.
The number says, do you have A&W in Mexico? What's A&W?
A&W root beer. No.
We have one close to our house in it, and it's our little treat to grab food there every so often.
I've been there. Like the drive-in, the drive-in thing.
Isn't that the root beer brand?
Yes.
I like
But he's talking about the fast food place.
They import the
They have hamburgers and all
beer.
kinds of stuff.
The root beer. Regula says, I just googled the El Falcon GT Bizarre. The El Falcon GT Bizarre. Mark, when I got sick last year, I lost 60 pounds. I have since gained it back and more. Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, if you're just sitting around the house eating, without doing the exercise, that's what I do every day. And I'm trying to control that.
And it says, you need In-N-Out Burger in Mexico. I would like to try.
There is one, Daniel. It's not legal, but somebody 2 hours from us in Culiacan took everything about it and opened one in Culiacan. They don't call it that, but it's the same design, it's the same food, it's the same everything. And unfortunately, because of the violence that's happening there, I can't go there to test it out.
I would like to try Five Guys.
Never heard of it when I was there, and I don't know. Some of these burger places, the cost, you're paying $25 for a burger, fries, and a drink. I don't see how anybody does it or why they do it.
Trevor says, Arby's probably never completely mastered roast beef. Nevertheless, I used to enjoy the French dip sandwiches with horsey sauce. Donna says, it's okay, you like what you like. Trevor says, congratulations, Mark. John Andrew says, all the A&W down here are combined with KFC or Taco Bell. Only proper drive-in one I know is in Florence, Oregon. Dean says, WEF, bug basted tofu.
Gray Bullet. I was in Las Vegas. This was the 90s, early 90s. And on the way home, I stop at Arby's. This was when they only had roast beef. I walk in there. Manager says to me, we're out of roast beef. I said, that's all you sell. You have nothing to sell. Why do you have the doors open? And I walked out. Mrs. Spec and I were in Veracruz. I said, I want Dairy Queen. So we get in an Uber
and
go to Dairy Queen, walk in. First thing the manager says there, we don't have any ice cream. I can sell you this. No, I'm here for ice cream. No, we don't have any. The machine broke. So we got into another Uber and went to the next one down the road, and they finally had it. So this is a thing that's like followed me in my life. When an establishment has only one thing they sell, when I go in there, they don't have it,
The number says
but they're still open.
the number says A&W is very popular in Canada, at least Alberta. Hands down the best quality fast food. Fat food or fast food?
Yes.
Stray Bullet says the bun is probably the most difficult part of an In-N-Out burger. Daniel says sounds cool. Mark says I wanted to go to Five Guys for years. My wife doesn't want to go there, and would rather go to McDonald's. And Steven Andrews says Five Guys expensive but good, and free peanuts.
Hmm.
Dean says these bugs is good. Political Front says Five Guys is a good but way overpriced. Regular says In and Out sounds too biological to be appealing.
Barry, when I was in high school, In and Out Burger, of course, had bumper stickers they gave out or sold or whatever. So if you cut the B and the R off the burger, then you have In and Out Urge, and that's what everybody had on their cars. There was an In and Out Burger, I don't know, maybe 2 blocks from my high school. So at lunchtime, everybody would go over there and get their burgers, and they go back to school. But yeah, that's what was on every car around, In and Out Urge.
The number says try the Five Guys vanilla milkshake with the bacon bits. You're welcome. That sounds tasty. The number says the kids' wrath work here at In and Out work their butts off. Food is super fresh and use great meat. It's all fresh.
Yeah, it's always fresh.
Dean says In and Out for those with belly button fetishes. The number says something I don't want to say. And Steven Andrews says not even dilly bars in the freezer. Dean says Five
I didn't
Guys.
want a dilly bar. I wanted a, what do they call the thing?
Um, um, yeah, that's the name of the storm.
I don't know why I can't think of the name right now. The one that they turn upside down.
Blizzard.
Blizzard. Yeah.
Blizzard.
I wanted a Blizzard with Reese's.
Dean says Five Guys jokes aren't even funnier. Barracuda says reminds me of the Gobble and Go Dean. Mark says we now have two chick fillets in Ottawa. That is good.
Never had that either.
The number says Dolbar. That sounds about right. Pablo Campos says I remember the Urge stickers.
Yeah. In and Out Urge.
Dean says gobbled and thrown. Did I tell you that one night I almost crashed my PA Vauxhall into the Gobble and Go? Mark says Blizzard.
Thank you. I don't know why I can't remember that. Probably because I live in a hot area. You guys would have remembered Blizzard really easily.
Margaret says no, that sounds exciting. What happened? Dean says it was opposite the Golden Cobweb.
You guys and your names, unless you're making it all up. This is the same color as that beetle, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That ugly green. That reminds me of one thing.
Don't say it.
I wasn't going to. So you think we should like stop now? Or should we wait for all of our guests here to go to sleep one by one?
No.
We're gonna have a problem with the guys from Australia because it's like middle of the day there.
Yeah.
Didn't really work this experiment. We got one new guy in here asking about a price, but I don't know. Maybe next week we're gonna have to do it much earlier.
Fernando says, well, it's not fresh after 45-minute wait, which is how long that lasts in and out drive-through. Uh, took. I tried took. But girlfriend says, went to Subway, had no bread, told me 2 hour wait.
They make it right there.
2 hour
It
wait.
doesn't take 2 hours to make bread.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
No.
The number says, Dean, 5 fries, burgers, and guys is what I call it. Jay Weiss is here.
Hey, Jay Weiss. We're about to close out now.
And they say Uncle Jesse struck.
So I think we're about done. I think Mrs. Mexican Spec is going to walk by herself at nighttime.
No.
all the way to get a hot dog.
Come with me.
Where do they sell hot dogs now?
Over here. The same place.
That's walking across a main street. You better not be getting me sick.
How would I be getting you sick?
I don't know. I don't know. Just don't do it.
Okay.
All right. Still have hours to go, guys. We don't have hours to go. Daniel Morrissey. Does Mexico... Where did you get that flag?
We have the flag. Here. Flag.
It's not on...
Flag. Flag.
Oh, it's got its own sec... Oh, okay. But when you do a search, it doesn't come up.
That's because I'm on my phone. You're on the computer.
I'm talking about in YouTube.
There you go. Flag.
I don't know.
Well, does it have its ice cream?
What?
I don't know. Then it says, does Mexico have its ice cream?
I don't understand the question.
Me neither. Then it says, we still have hours to go, guys. Joshua says, the first time I heard of In-N-Out Burger, I thought it was in a fictional restaurant chain. Durando says, it's the farthest north In-N-Out in Reedfield, Wyoming? WA?
Washington.
Jolie says,
There's In-N-Out in Washington?
good night, everyone. Because someone told me about the Chinese owner of the Gobble and Go asking the customers if they wanted a fork, but it came out like, you want fork? And you want a fork? That was it. Amigos, amigas. Night. Night. Sleep well. Not getting sick.
No getting sick. I do have my Uncle Tony's Garage hoodie to keep me warm.
But girlfriends, can you get me a hot dog too? I mean, I could.
What do you want? What do you want on it, buddy?
Yeah, because there's so many things on it.
Be very specific. What do you want on it? You have no idea how they make them here. Good night, Thunderbird.
I'll get a picture and put it on Mr.
We're gonna be talking more.
Mr. Spec's Instagram. He says, "Animal says when I take Mexico, the flag pops up."
Oh, that's weird.
You should try that.
That's weird. That's freaking weird. No, when you go to the emoji there, and you type in, because it asks you to search flag, a whole bunch of weird flags come up, and of course the rainbow flag, but no flags for countries. The U.S., Mexico, nothing.
But my girlfriend just wants mustard.
Just mustard. Oh my God. I don't think they would even sell you a hot dog here with just mustard on it. There's like 10, 15 things they put on it here.
I could take a video.
You've got your bacon, you've got your grilled onions, 3 types of cheeses. What else do they put on there? All of the sauces, the ketchup, the mustard, the mayonnaise. What else?
Cheese whiz.
Yeah, the 3 cheeses.
Lettuce,
tomatoes, avocado.
The sprinkled cheese, the dry cheese.
Yeah. All of that they put on.
Chilies.
All of them they put on one hot dog.
I'll take a video and put it on Mr. Spec's Instagram. Thunderbird says hot dogs just need mayo and mustard. That's it. That's all. No.
Oh, not in Mexico. Hey, Thunderbird, do a Google search for a Mexican hot dog.
No, but every place has a different hot dog.
Do a search for hot dog in Sinaloa.
Just look for his Instagram. We'll upload a video.
Okay.
If it's still open.
She'll take a video of it. Good night, everybody.
Hot cat.
Hey, the cat's asleep.
I was gonna. No, he's.
I don't think he's very hot because it's not that hot here right now.
He woke up.
Asleep.
No, he's up. He's okay. He's awake. He's moving his ear.
And he's listening to us.
We're making too much noise.
Good night, everybody.
What's the company? Do a hot dog short like I did.
Well, we could.
Okay, guys. Good night. Thank you for being here.